Chapter 1381 Holy Soul, Holy Skill. Xuanshu Holy Realm, War Realm Void. The Saintess in light clothes lives here. After all, you can enter the War Realm Tower at any time here, and you can contact the Saintess Gate as soon as possible. Even if you are really in danger, you can hide in the War Realm Tower. Zudu lives in the Void of War. This day, Yi Tian came here and appeared outside the mansion of the Holy Maiden in light clothes. When Yi Tian arrived, the light-clothed saint would know. "Come in, son of all laws." The voice of the lightly clothed saint came out. Yi Tian entered the mansion of the light-clothed saint and met the light-clothed saint. The light-clothed saint, "Long time no see," Yi Tian said with a smile when she saw Qingyi gave birth to a daughter. "Holy son of 10,000 laws, it's been a long time since I saw you. I was supposed to visit you, but you are probably busy, so I didn't bother to bother you." The light-clothed saint said, "I don't know what the son of 10,000 laws is looking for from me. Isn't it reminiscing? There is something that requires trouble for the lightly clothed saint." Yi Tian said directly, "What's the matter?" The lightly clothed saint was a little curious. Yi Tian's face became serious and said, "I wonder if the Qingyi saint has a jade bottle in her hand. If there is, I want to borrow it for a while." 1. Jade bottle. The lightly clothed saint also became serious. "If it is an ordinary treasure, it will be fine, but the jade bottle is a sacred object, how precious it is." However, Yi Tian once saved her life, and she is not good at deceiving Yi Tian, so she said truthfully, "Son of 10,000 laws, I do have a jade vase in my hand, but the jade vase is of high value and belongs to the saintess. The door, even if it is me, once lost, there is no way to explain it to the saintess door. Besides, I am now using the jade bottle to continuously purify the domain body and domain power. If I lend it to you temporarily, my cultivation speed will be reduced many times slower. This is like a refusal." The Holy Maiden in Qingyi would not lend the jade bottle to Yi Tian because Yi Tian had rescued her. After all, people are selfish, and naturally they will not sacrifice their own cultivation process to fulfill others. Of course, if she can help in other areas, she may help, but it is definitely not possible when it comes to the jade bottle. Yi Tian was not surprised by the refusal of the light-clothed saintess. After all, if it was him, he might have refused directly. However, he won't just give up. "Light-clothed saint, you can offer any conditions. I am willing to exchange for the opportunity to temporarily borrow the jade bottle at any price. Of course, I must be able to do it, and not ask too much," Yi Tian said. The Holy Maiden in light clothes wanted to continue to refuse, but suddenly thought of something, so she was silent for a while. At this time, the light-clothed saint said seriously, "Holy son of Wanfa, I really need your help with one thing. If you are willing to agree, I can lend you the jade bottle to practice for a while." "Please say," Yi Tian said with joy. "I want a promise." The lightly clothed saint said. "Promise." Yi Tian was a little puzzled, not knowing what Qingyi's giving birth to a daughter meant. At this time, the lightly clothed saint continued, "Do you know what is the most precious opportunity in the holy world?" "I don't know." Yi Tian shook his head. In fact, he doesn't know much about the holy realm. After all, he is not in the dark sanctuary, so he can't fully understand a lot of knowledge. The knowledge he only knows through the Zonman bookstore is limited. The lightly clothed saint smiled and said, "There are so many holy realms in the dark sanctuary, and almost all of them are controlled by the Holy Land and the top 10 holy gates, so most forces do not know what the most precious opportunity of the holy realm is. The biggest opportunity is the holy monument. A holy world will only have one holy monument. The number of holy monuments is limited. Some holy monuments have only a few hundred places, and some have thousands. They have an independent world to practice in the holy monument, which is not only the safest retreat place in the holy world, but also a place of opportunity. Only in the world of the holy monument can one hope to temper the soul to the soul of the holy light, the level of the gods, that is, the holy soul. The reason why many ancestors of the strong domain have stayed at the level of the ancestors of the strong domain is to upgrade their souls to the holy soul. It is not their goal to be promoted to the invincible domain ancestors only at the level of the holy light of the soul. There is a big difference between being promoted to invincible domain ancestor with holy soul and being promoted to invincible domain ancestor with holy light of soul. Once promoted to invincible domain ancestor with holy soul, the strength will be extremely powerful, and a natal holy skill will be born. The holy skills of the life do not need holy gifts, and they are naturally suitable for themselves. It can be said that once a supreme ancestor is promoted to the invincible domain ancestor with his holy soul, he will immediately become an existence comparable to a holy gift, and his potential and strength are both far more than ordinary invincible domain ancestors. Maybe you think that some super strong domain ancestors and invincible domain ancestors can also practice holy skills, but without holy talent, they can practice holy skills. To the entry level, it is very good. But the holy skill of life is different. It is very easy to cultivate the holy skill of life, and it can even be cultivated to the limit level. Holy Spirit, the holy skill of life, so it is. Yi Tian finally understood why such a strong domain ancestor like Qingyu domain ancestor was not sure to be promoted to the invincible domain ancestor. It turned out that he wanted to be promoted to the holy soul, and then go to the invincible domain ancestor, so that a natal holy skill would be born. The natal holy skill is too important for the invincible domain ancestor. Once you master a natal holy skill at the extreme level, it is almost no different from the holy endowment. How terrifying the combat power is. For most of the invincible domain ancestors, it is almost an extravagant hope to become the supreme domain ancestor, and with the holy skills of life, it is almost possible to become an invincible existence at the invincible domain ancestor level. The light-clothed saint, do you want a holy monument? Yi Tian understood the thoughts of the lightly clothed saintess. Not bad. The light-clothed saint nodded. The quota for the holy monument is very precious. Once it is given, Li Nuo's latecomers will not be able to obtain it. This thing cannot be transferred. The holy realm controlled by the Holy Maiden's Gate has not many places for holy monuments, and some holy places in the holy realm have been used up. Therefore, I only got one after all my efforts. There are only one quota for the sacred monument in the holy realm, and I cannot reach the level of the holy soul, so I need the quota for the sacred monument in the Xuanshu holy realm in the future. Yi Tian agreed. It is conceivable that once the sacred monument appears, there will be many people who want to snatch the sacred monument quota, and they will come to him one by one. If he didn't have enough strength, he wouldn't be able to keep the sacred monument place at all. Even if you ask for the help of the war gate, can the Xuanshu holy realm be completely controlled in your own hands? What's more, the number of holy monuments is only attractive to the supreme power ancestor, not to the invincible ancestor, otherwise, his pressure will be even greater. Chapter 1382 The cultivation base has broken through, the ancestor of the strong domain. Through the conversation with the holy maiden in light clothes, Yi Tian learned more and more about the holy monument. No one knows when the holy monument will appear. Even the master of the holy world can only notice it hundreds of thousands of years before the birth of the holy monument. It is impossible to predict when the holy monument will be born. In some holy worlds, the birth time of holy monuments takes a long time, while others will be born soon. But in any case, once the holy monument is born, it will inevitably attract the attention of countless ancestors. Holy Son of 10,000 Laws, since you agreed, I will temporarily lend you the jade bottle, and return it to me when you enter the realm of the ancestors of the Supreme Realm, how about it? The light-clothed saint suggested. Yi Tian nodded. The holy maiden in light clothes did not ask Yi Tian to sign any agreement, and obviously trusted Yi Tian very much. Soon, the holy maiden in Qingyi released the jade bottle's identity and handed over a crystal bottle to Yi Tian. This crystal bottle is the holy object, the jade bottle. After Yi Tian accepted the jade bottle, he talked with the light-clothed saint for a while, and then left here. After returning to the human world, Yi Tian began to refine the jade bottle, and it took some time for the jade bottle to be refined and recognized as the master. Closed place. Yi Tian 590 placed the jade bottle in the void, and he himself entered the inside of the jade bottle. If you want to purify the domain body and domain power, you must enter the inside of the jade bottle and use the sacred power of the jade bottle to continuously purify the flesh. This is the correct way to use the jade bottle. Boom! The power of countless jade bottle sacred objects washes Yi Tian's body, making Yi Tian's domain body and domain power continue to be pure and pure. Plus Yi Tian's endless domain method, the effect is very good, far faster than the pure speed before, don't know how many times faster. At this speed, at most 2 million years, I can purify my body to the extreme, and then I can raise my soul up, and I can start to attack the realm of the ancestors of the strong domain. Yi Tian planned. Time passes slowly. Yi Tian hardly cares about the outside world, unless something big happens. However, in the following days, nothing major happened in Xuanshu Sacred Realm and Daoshan Realm. It's just that some cultivation treasures and many treasures were born, and a few more general sacred objects were born, one of which was obtained by the human race, but a few others were snatched by the supreme ancestors of other forces, CJFI, but it also caused a lot of fighting, and many ancestors of the strong domain fell. Even with such a thing, Yi Tian did not appear. After all, ordinary sacred objects are not of high value to him, so there is no need to fight for them. For him at present, it is more important to seize the time to cultivate. In fact, Yi Tian's cloned body can also be dispatched, but those sacred objects were born too quickly, so he didn't have time to participate. In any case, with Yi Qingtian's cloned body, and there are many areas under the complete control of the human race, even if some treasures are found, it is the first time the human race domain ancestors arrive, so most of the precious resources fall into the hands of the human race. Only a very small number of precious resources will be robbed by the supreme ancestors of other forces. Moreover, if the supreme strong domain ancestor who behaved excessively did not leave the Xuanshu holy realm in the end, Yi Tian would find them and kill them one by one. In the blink of an eye, more than 2 million years have passed. The domain body and domain force are finally refined to the extreme. Yi Tian muttered, "I have to say that the power of the jade bottle is really awesome. The strong men of the holy maiden sect who have the jade bottle can easily purify the domain body and domain force to the extreme, and promote it to the highest level with the most perfect attitude, higher realm. Of course, the jade bottle is so powerful, it is impossible to use it indefinitely. For example, Yi Tian has used it continuously for more than 2 million years, and has used too much power of the sacred object of the jade bottle, almost overdrawing the potential of the jade bottle. Today, the effect of the jade bottle is too many times worse. If you want it to recover to its original effect, it will take a long time, or special methods will be used to restore it. However, Yi Tian won't restore the method of the jade bottle, and it is estimated that only the people of the Saints' sect will know that method. At this time, Yi Tian doesn't need the jade bottle anymore. Now, he only needs to raise his soul to a certain level, and then he can directly hit the realm of strong domain ancestors. Therefore, Yi Tian entered the Soul Saint realm in the following days. In the core area of the Soul Saint realm, he was subjected to the impact of countless black shadows, constantly tempering his soul until he couldn't hold on, and then he quit to restore his soul power. In this way, Yi Tian is constantly tempering his soul, and the speed of progress is very fast. Yi Tian has been tempered for millions of years, and it is difficult for his soul to continue to improve, at least it is difficult to continue his own soul by ordinary methods. Although Yi Tian can still find a way to temper his soul, there is no need to continue tempering. The soul of this level is already perfect. If he really wants to temper his soul to the level of the holy light of the soul, it is not necessary to be perfect. In other words, Yi Tian can now hit the realm of the ancestors of the strong domain. This day, Yi Tian began to retreat to the realm of the ancestors of the strong domain. Generally, it is difficult for the top domain ancestors to raise their domain body to the level of the strongest domain body. Only when the holy body is strong enough and the potential is high enough can they transform their top domain body to the strongest domain body. Yi Tian's holy body is the eternal and indestructible holy body. Although it has not yet reached the limit level, it has also reached the perfection in the perfection realm, and it is only one step away from the limit level. Boom! The power of the eternal and inextinguishable holy body constantly promotes the qualitative change of the top domain body, and coupled with the operation of the endless domain law, Yi Tian's breakthrough has become very easy. Crack! The shackles in the dark were broken, and the top domain body began to undergo qualitative changes. As time passed, countless energies poured into Yi Tian's body, prompting his top domain body to evolve, and the aura on his body became stronger and stronger. I don't know how long it took, Yi Tian began to permeate the aura of the strong domain body. This day, Yi Tian's top domain body has completely transformed to the level of the supreme domain body, the domain force on the body has also begun to transform into the supreme domain force, and the soul has also begun to improve greatly, and it is rapidly improving every moment. Yi Tian's potential is too great, so he has broken through to the level of the strongest domain body, and the extent of strength improvement is extremely exaggerated. After a long time passed, Yi Tian really completed the breakthrough. And he used the power of the Xuanshu holy realm to cover up his breakthrough, so no one knew that he had successfully broken through. Of course, once he appeared in the outside world, the news could not be concealed. But at that time, the realm reached an extremely terrifying level. Chapter 1383 Reminder of the Ancestor of Herring Yu. After breaking through to become the ancestor of the Supreme Power Domain, Yi Tian continued to retreat and practice to stabilize his realm. Moreover, he has just been promoted to the Supreme Ancestor, and there is still a lot of room for improvement. For example, his domain body has just been promoted to the super strong domain body, and his cultivation base is in the early stage of the super strong domain body. As long as he has the help of the ancestor medicine, it is not difficult for him to upgrade his cultivation base to the peak realm of the super strong domain ancestor, but it will cost a few ancestral medicines. But for Yi Tian, if a mere few ancestral medicines can be exchanged for an increase in cultivation and a qualitative change in strength, it is naturally very cost-effective. As a result, Yi Tian stabilized his realm while using his ancestral medicine to refine it to a strong domain body, improve it to a strong domain force, and constantly improve his own cultivation. In the time acceleration environment, Yi Tian continued refining the ancestral medicine, and the speed of cultivation was very fast. In the blink of an eye, hundreds of thousands of years have passed. This day, Yi Tian has already refined 3 ancestral medicines, and the cultivation base is no longer comparable to the past, and now it has been promoted to the peak of the ancestors of the strongest domain. In addition to the fact that the realm of the soul has not kept up, the domain body has reached the peak state of the supreme domain body, and the domain force has naturally reached the peak state of the supreme domain force, but the domain body and domain force are not pure, and the foundation is not very stable. After all, it is with the help of ancestors it will take a long time to improve the cultivation base of medicine, the years will come step by step. However, Yi Tian's strength is much stronger than in the past. At the top domain ancestor level, Yi Tian's combat power is estimated to reach the second level of the strongest domain ancestor. But now, Yi Tian's combat power has already surpassed the first grade of the supreme ancestor, and he has definitely entered the supreme ranking of the battle gate. As for how many places he can rank in the Xian ranking, and whether he can defeat such a powerful ancestor like Herring Yu, Yi Tian can't say. Yi Tian then did not continue to retreat, but went out and came to the residence of the holy maiden in light clothes. He was going to return the jade bottle to the light-clothed saint. After all, he had promised to break through to the supreme realm ancestor, so he would return the jade bottle to the light-clothed saint. Now he naturally has to keep the promise. When Yi Tian saw the light-clothed saint was very surprised. Wanfa Yuzu, congratulations on your step into the realm of the super strong domain ancestor. The lightly clothed saint said. She knew that Yi Tian must have tempered the domain body and domain power to the extreme before breaking through to the realm of strong domain ancestors. And how long has passed, Yi Tian has broken through to the realm of the ancestors of the strongest domain. Such a terrifying speed of improvement is astonishing. Even if she has been using the jade bottle to cultivate, she can't have such an effect. She didn't know that Yi Tian created a method like endless domain law, otherwise she would not be surprised. Thank you, this is the jade bottle, and it will be returned as promised. Yi Tian took out the jade bottle, released the identity of the master, and handed it over to the light-clothed saint. The lightly clothed saint took the jade bottle and immediately put it away. Yi Tian didn't stay at the residence of the holy maiden in light clothes for a long time, and soon left. After returning, Yi Tian practiced the endless domain law as usual, constantly purifying his domain body and domain power, and occasionally entered the soul saint realm to temper his soul. However, the tempering effect of the soul saint realm on Yi Tian is relatively general now, and the tempering effect is not as good as it was at the beginning. After becoming the ancestor of the supreme power domain, Yi Tian found that it was a little easier for him to comprehend and cultivate holy skills. After all, some supremely talented ancestors can also cultivate a holy skill to the entry level, because the soul of the supreme ancestors is strong and their comprehension has reached a certain level, so they can forcibly cultivate a sacred skill to the entry level. Yi Tian has become a super powerful domain body, his comprehension has naturally improved, and the difficulty of comprehending holy skills has naturally decreased. But even so, it is somewhat difficult for him to comprehend a holy skill to the limit level. In the blink of an eye, some years passed. The ancestor of Herring Yu came to look for Yi Tian, so Yi Tian asked his cloned body to go to see the ancestor of Herring Yu, and his body was still cultivating. I have seen the ancestor of the Herring domain, Yi Tian said politely. Herring Yuzu also felt the change in Yi Tian's strength, and her cultivation level was raised from the top domain ancestor to the peak of the strongest domain ancestor. The breath was not known how many times stronger, and it even brought a trace of pressure to her. Obviously, Yi Tian is so powerful. She was not surprised by this. After all, Yi Tian is a saint, even if his soul is not strong now, his combat power is definitely not weak. I have seen the ancestors of Wanvayu. For flowers. Just like the ancestor of the strong domain, Yi Tian is no longer a holy son. In the battle of the war gate, only the subordinates of the supreme power are the saints. Only the supreme ancestors who have been promoted by the Holy Sun can be called high level, and the general disciples of the war sector promoted to the supreme ancestors, but they are not high level and their status is only similar to that of the top level ancestors. Ancestor of Qingyu Yu, do you know what's going on? Yi Tian asked. The ancestor of the Qingyu domain said solemnly. Not long ago, the war gate passed a message that the 10 great holy gates had a conflict, and the relationship with each other was not very good, and the 10 great holy gates are now focusing on the primitive ancestral realm, which seems to be the original ancestor. There are very precious treasures or other opportunities born in the world. Point 0. The original ancestral realm was the mysterious world where the holy war was competing for places, and it was also the first ancestral realm in the Dark Sanctuary. At that time, the Dark Sanctuary was not as powerful as it is now, and there were not many supreme ancestors. That was an era that was infinitely far away from today. But even so, the primitive ancestral realm is still extremely precious, and it is valued by the 10 major holy gates, and holy wars are waged for this purpose. The status of the primordial sacred realm is equivalent to that of the Xuanshu sacred realm in the Daoshan realm, and the treasures contained in it are unknown. At this time, the ancestor of Qingyu Yu continued. In short, many of the battle power of the 10 major holy gates has entered the original ancestor realm. At this time, some holy places and sects are afraid to be ready to move. For example, your Xuanshu holy realm may to attract the greedy eyes of some forces, you need to be careful at this time. After all, the value of a holy world is very precious, and many strengths like to create chaos, so as to gain benefits from the chaos. If you are assassinated, it will inevitably lead to mystery. The holy world is chaotic, and many forces will fight for the control of the Xuanshu holy world. Therefore, the supreme ancestor of the war gate let me remind you to be careful. However, you have now been promoted to the peak realm of the supreme ancestor. Is much safer, but you still need to pay attention. There are countless supreme ancestors in the Dark Sanctuary, and some of them are not even weaker than the saints, perhaps even more evil than the saints. Don't be careless. Thank you Herring for the reminder. Yi Tian nodded. Chapter 1384 Refining the Soul Sacred World Flower and Giving Birth to the Soul Holy Light. Herring Yuzu just reminded Yi Tian at the order of Zanman, and didn't say much. After speaking, the ancestor of the Herring domain left. After Herring Yuzu left, Yi Tian was a little dignified. He is very clear that no matter where it is, there are forces that want to make trouble. Now that the situation in the Dark Sanctuary is chaotic, the forces that want to make trouble at this time are afraid that they will come forward, and the value of the Xuanshu Sanctuary is too high, and there are definitely many ancestors who want him to die. Maybe sometime, there will be a supreme power ancestor to attack him. As for the invincible domain ancestor, he should not come to assassinate him. After all, the invincible domain ancestor was considered a big man in the Dark Sanctuary, so he wouldn't come to the Xuanshu Sanctuary to assassinate him. Moreover, if there was an invincible domain ancestor who attacked him, Zanman would definitely not let 590 pass the invincible domain ancestor. If it was an attack from the supreme power domain ancestor, if he was killed, it would not be as good as others. Even if Zanman would be angry, the consequences would not be so serious. None of the forces in the Dark Sanctuary dared to send the invincible domain ancestor to attack him. After all, the invincible domain ancestor shot, that is to bully the small. After all, there is an unwritten rule in the Dark Sanctuary. The invincible domain ancestors are not allowed to attack the supreme domain ancestors, the supreme domain ancestors are not allowed to attack the supreme domain ancestors, and the first ancestors are not allowed to shoot at will. Otherwise, it will be difficult for those geniuses to grow up. If the invincible domain ancestor doesn't make a move, I will not be afraid of any supreme domain ancestor with my strength. Not to mention that in the Xuanshu Holy Realm, I can use the power of the Xuanshu Holy Realm to crush everything. If anyone dares to shoot at me, then just wait for bad luck. Yi Tian muttered. He didn't worry about his own safety, but mainly worried about the safety of his family, so he left everything that needed life-saving to his family, and asked his family not to leave the Xuanshu Sacred Realm. Next, Yi Tian has another choice, that is, should he use the Soul Saint Realm Flower or not. The Soul Saint Realm Flower can allow a supreme ancestor to raise his own soul to the level of the holy light of the soul, and easily hit the realm of the invincible realm ancestor. Yi Tian will not attack the invincible domain ancestor realm with the holy light of soul, but it is undeniable that the flower of soul holy realm can make his soul reach the level of holy light of soul, thus saving countless years. Otherwise, if he wants to raise his soul to the level of the holy light of the soul, it will take a long time. Moreover, the soul sacred realm flower is not very helpful to the supreme realm ancestor at the level of soul holy light, because it cannot help the supreme realm ancestor to condense the holy soul. If you want to condense the holy soul, the soul sacred realm flower is not qualified. But Yi Tian has only such a flower in his hand. Once he uses it, his family will not be able to use it. Let's use it anyway. The soul holy realm will give birth to new soul holy realm flowers in the future, and maybe Xuanshu holy realm will give birth to more precious treasures than the soul holy realm flower. At present, improving the strength is the most important. Once I am promoted to the soul the level of holy light, the strength will usher in a small transformation. Yi Tian decided. So, Yi Tian took out the soul saint realm flower and began to refine it. Soul Saint Realm flower energy is very strong for the tempering of the soul. It is like tearing the soul into countless pieces in an instant, but the energy it contains will repair the tearing of the soul, so the tempering effect is far beyond that of tempering in the soul holy realm. Effect. Originally, Yi Tian's soul was already very powerful. If 100 points of the soul was the level of the holy light of the soul, then Yi Tian had reached the level of 70 to 80 points before. It didn't take too long to refine the Soul Saint Realm flower. Only 1/3 of the Soul Saint Realm flower was refined, and it completely entered the level of Soul Holy Light. Boom! Yi Tian's soul has been condensed to the extreme, and a trace of holy light radiates from the source of the soul. This trace of holy light is like a trace of white thread, containing powerful power, and like the essence, it is integrated into the whole body, and it can be combined with the domain force. Combined, thus unleashing a powerful attack. It is precisely because of this that once he has entered the level of soul holy light, his strength will increase a lot. Yi Tian combined the holy light of the soul with the power of the domain, and cast a strike at will, and the power of this strike skyrocketed. Soul light has roughly doubled my attack power. Yi Tian estimated that. Of course, doing this will make the consumption of the holy light of the soul more serious, which is equivalent to using the power of the soul to fight. Once the battle takes a long time, the soul will be very weak. This kind of weakness is the weakness in the origin of the soul, and it is difficult to make up for it in a short time. Come over. But this consumption will not overdraw the potential, and it is too helpful for the battle, so everyone wants to give birth to the holy light of soul. The birth of the holy light of soul is just the beginning, such is how powerful Yi Tian's soul is, but the holy light of soul is very rare. After all, he has just given birth to holy light of soul. If the entire soul is transformed into holy light of soul, such a soul will be Holy Spirit. However, once the supreme ancestors gave birth to the holy light of the soul, they would be satisfied, and they would attack the realm of the invincible ancestors. After all, for them, it is almost unrealistic to want to raise the soul to the holy soul level. I don't know how many extremely ancient ancestors of the strong domain have cultivated so far, and they are far from reaching the level of the holy soul. Yi Tian continued to refine the Soul Sacred World Flower, because once the Soul Sacred World Flower destroyed the whole, it had to be refined in a short time, otherwise the other parts would slowly dissipate. Therefore, it is not realistic to want to save the Soul Sacred World Flower for other people to use. It didn't take long for Yi Tian 5.8 to refine all the flowers of the Soul Saint realm, and more Soul Holy Light was born, and the Soul Holy Light could increase Yi Tian's attack power by 3 times. But I don't know how far it is from hitting the holy soul level, and even Yi Tian can't see the end. I only gave birth to such a little soul holy light, which can increase the attack by 3 times. Even if it is used for holy skills, it will weaken a lot, but it can also increase the power of holy skills. Strong domain ancestors, how terrifying is their boosting effect, and how terrifying is their combat power. Yi Tian thought to himself. At this time, he finally understood the meaning of Qingyu Yuzu's reminder. He really can't be proud, those are not saints, but if there is enough holy light in the soul, it is enough to make up for the gap in holy skills. Chapter 1385 The 4-Star King. Soul Sacred World Flower has finished refining, Yi Tian has ended the retreat. In the following days, Yi Tian entered the Zanji Tower and tried to learn from some of the most powerful ancestors of Zanmen. Of course, he will not reveal his true strength, and he is only sparring with a few supreme power ancestors to roughly confirm his strength through sparring. According to the actual strength, Yi Tian can easily kill the first-level powerhouses of the Supreme Power Domain ancestor, but it is impossible to calculate how many places they are on the Battlegate Xeon ranking. Almost all the ancestors on the Zanmen Xeon list are wandering in the outside world, working hard to attack the Holy Soul, and almost never enter the Battle Realm Tower, so he can't find the ancestors on the Xeon list to learn from each other. The only one found on the top strong list is the ancestor of the blue fish domain, but it is not good for him to directly ask the ancestor of the blue fish domain to learn from. He couldn't come to the door directly and ask the ancestor Herring Yu to discuss with him. The two of them were not familiar with each other, so it would undoubtedly be regarded as a provocation. Moreover, at the level of the supreme strong domain ancestor, it is not good for oneself to learn from each other, nor does it have the effect of training, and it is easy for others to know their strength. 29 And the Zanji Tower does not have an assessment for the level of the strongest domain ancestor. The half-step domain ancestor level can also understand its own strength through the 9-layer Zanji of the Zanji Tower. But the ancestor of the strong domain is too powerful, and it is difficult for the Zanji Tower to simulate the strength above the first level of the ancestor of the strong domain. After all, the Zanji Tower is just a sacred object, and it is not so defiant. At this time, Yi Tian really hoped that someone would attack him, so that he could understand his strength. Daoshan boundary, in an ordinary domain. There is a world in which a group of domain ancestors gathered, all wearing black armor, wearing a mask of white bones, and the word ghost was engraved on the shirt. If someone familiar sees this scene, they will immediately recognize the identity of this group of people. They are people from the Dark Sanctuary Ghost Fox organization. The Ghost Fox organization has not been recognized by the 10 great sacred sects of the Dark Sanctuary. It is rumored that the strength of the Ghost Fox organization is no less than that of a weak Holy Land. It has some invincible domain ancestors and even a supreme domain ancestor. There are many supreme ancestors of the Ghost Fox, and each realm is divided into 6 levels of members: bronze, silver, gold, diamond, master, and king. For example, ordinary domain ancestors have 6 levels from 1-star bronze to 1-star king, elite domain ancestors have 6 levels from 2-star bronze to 2-star kings, top domain ancestors have 6 levels from 3-star bronze to 3-star kings, and supreme domain ancestors have 6 levels. Specifically, it is divided into 6 levels: 4-star bronze and 4-star king. The 4-star bronze represents the general superstar ancestor, the 4-star silver represents the very powerful top-level superstar, the 4-star gold represents the 3rd-level superstar, and the 4-star diamond represents the 1st the 2nd grade Xeon domain ancestor. The 4-star masters are awesome, representing the first-class supreme ancestors. How powerful such supreme ancestors are. As for the 4-star king, that is the strongest domain ancestor who is comparable to the Holy Gate Xeon list. It stands to reason that it is difficult for ordinary forces to give birth to the strongest domain ancestors on the Holy Gate Xeon list. Even the Holy Land has at most 1 or 2 such strong domain ancestors, and there may not even be such a strong domain ancestor. But the Ghost Fox organization has 4-star king level supreme ancestors, and not only 1 or 2, but many. It is rumored that the Ghost Fox organization has a very precious treasure, which helps the supreme ancestor to condense the holy light of the soul, so that so many 4-star kings can be cultivated. It stands to reason that the Ghost Fox organization has such a treasure. It should not be able to keep it. The Holy Gate can easily destroy the Ghost Fox organization. But the Ghost Fox organization has a little relationship with an ancestor, so it has a background. Even the Holy Gate will not destroy the Ghost Fox organization. The Ghost Fox organization often takes on some missions, including assassination missions. Under normal circumstances, the Ghost Fox organization would not assassinate the ancestors of the Holy Sect. But this time, they took on such a task. At this time, the 4-star king of Ghost Fox, Ghost Shadow Domain Ancestor, and the 4-star king, Dark Charm Domain Ancestor were presiding over this meeting. In addition to these 2 4-star kings, there are 7 4-star master level members, 12 4-star diamond level members, and numerous bronze, silver, and gold level members. I have to say that this force is very powerful, and it can easily sweep an ordinary sect. After all, some ordinary masters only have 1 or 2 invincible domain ancestors, and the 4-star king has the strength to kill ordinary invincible domain ancestors. It can be said that these domain ancestors are comparable to the power of a sect. At this time, Ghost Shadow Domain Ancestor and Dark Charm Domain Ancestor are discussing their next plan: assassination of Yi Tian. The organization has issued a mission, that is, to assassinate the Lord of Xuanshu Sacred Realm, the first son of Zanman, and now the most powerful domain ancestor Wanfa Domain Ancestor. Ghost Shadow Domain Ancestor said. At this time, another 4-star master asked, Ghost Shadow Domain Ancestor, why does the organization want us to assassinate the Zanman Supreme Domain Ancestor, that is the Holy Sect Domain Ancestor, and is one of the high-level executives? Once the Zanman is angered then we. This is an order from the organization. There must be a lot of forces that have issued this task, and it may even be a task issued by other holy gates. In short, the organization has issued this task to us, so we are not afraid of the war gate. Ghost Shadow Domain Ancestral Road. The ancestor of Wanvayu is a saint. We are not afraid of the war, are we not afraid of the ancestors behind him? Another 4-star master asked. At this time, Ghost Shadow Domain Ancestor's face became heavy. I have to say that he is indeed afraid of the ancestor. Once Yitian was really killed and the first ancestor was brought out, they would definitely die, and even the Ghost Fox organization would not be able to keep it. But the Ghost Fox organization still issued this task, and also provided a message. Ghost Shadow Domain Ancestor immediately revealed the information of the Ghost Fox organization. The organization provides a piece of information. Wan Fau Zu may not be the descendant of the first ancestor, and he was born with a holy gift, which may be one of the miracles of the Dark Forbidden Domain, so the assassination of the ancestors of Wanvayu will not provoke the ancestors. In fact, there is still a guess in the Ghost Shadow Domain Ancestor. That is, the Ghost Fox organization has two purposes, one is to create chaos, and the other is to try to test, or to say that it is the test of many forces, to see if there is an ancestor behind Yitian. The people of the Holy Sect did not dare to make a move, and the Holy Land did not have the courage to make a move, so they naturally found their Ghost Fox organization. The Ghost Fox organization is famous for its hidden methods. Even if it really angers the Ghost Fox organization, if the Ghost Fox organization changes its name and gives up part of its power, there is still hope that it will survive and not be wiped out by the first ancestor. But these domain ancestors are afraid that they will become cannon fodder, and they will surely die. But this is the order of the organization, and these people don't dare to disobey, otherwise, once they defect from the organization, once the organization leaks their information to other forces, I don't know how many people want to kill them, and they will die by then. So, they had to copy and attack Yitian. Chapter 1386 Introduce Yitian. Ghost Shadow Domain Ancestor and others understood this very well, so they did not continue to discuss this. Has the strength of Wanfayuzu been roughly estimated? Dark Charm Domain Ancestor asked. It's almost estimated, Ghost Shadow Domain Ancestor said. According to our speculation, even including his refining soul Holy World Flower, he should also have several perfection level holy skills, and it is unlikely that he has the limit level. In addition to his potential, foundation, and various factors, his current strength should barely reach the 4-star king level. 4-star king level, is it too high to look at him? Most of the saints have just stepped into the peak of the ancestors of the strong domain. Even if the soul holy light is born, its strength is at the 4-star master level at most. Unless the 10,000 law domain ancestor's soul holy light has been born a lot, but he only has one soul holy world flower, and the soul holy light is estimated to be only a little bit, how can it be so powerful? A 4-star master questioned. Don't take Wanfayuzu as an ordinary saint, he has many saints, masters a lot of saints, and his strength and foundation are far beyond ordinary saints, so we must treat him as a 4-star king, otherwise, we will not send our 2 4-star kings to take action. Ghost Shadow Domain Ancestor said solemnly. 2 4-star kings, 7 4-star masters, plus other supreme ancestors, this is enough to be equivalent to 3 4-star kings. What's more, there is also a difference between the 4-star king and the 4-star king. Just like the ancestors of the strong domain on the top list, the gap between the strongest and the weakest is also huge, and the ancestor of the strong domain ranked first in the battle gate. It is estimated that killing such a strong ancestor of the herring domain ancestor is also a very simple matter. Therefore, the ancestors of the Ghost Shadow domain and the ancestors of the Dark Charm domain are very confident that they can kill Yitian. After all, their strength is very powerful, far exceeding the first-level combat power of the ancestors of the strong domain, and they are comparable to the top of the battle gate. 50. With such strength, coupled with careful preparation, Yitian can definitely be killed. Afterwards, the ancestors of the Ghost and Shadow domains and the ancestors of the Dark Charm domain began to discuss how to carry out the assassination. It is not a good choice to directly enter the human world. After all, the human world is the headquarters of the human race. Yitian has built countless great formations there, and there may even be an array of sacred objects as the foundation. If they directly enter the human world, they will have a great possibility of failure. After all, Yitian is not alone, he is still the supreme power ancestor of the War Gate. Once he is attacked, the other supreme power ancestors of the War Gate will definitely take action. They don't care about the general supreme ancestors, but the herring ancestors are still here. Once Herring Yuzu stepped in to help, their assassination would inevitably fail. Therefore, once the shot is taken, Yi Tian must be dealt with extremely fast. However, the ghost shadow domain ancestor still has one last problem. Wanfa Yuzu has a special clone, which is similar to the main body. If we can't confirm his clone, and we attacked his clone, then we will be assassinated in vain. Ghost shadow domain ancestor reminded. The ancestor of Dark Charm Yu put out a piece of information. According to our information, the ancestor of Wan Fau has been practicing in seclusion in the human world, and his clones often appear in various places in the Xuanshu Holy Realm. We can send someone to be involved. The avatar of the ancestor of Wanvaiu, and then sent people to sneak into the human world to arrest the family of the ancestor of Wanvaiu, so as to draw out the body of the ancestor of Wanvaiu. In this way, they will attack the ancestor of Wanvaiu with all their strength. This method works. Others agreed. Although this method is shameless, in order to complete the task, they don't care about it. As long as you can kill Yi Tian to complete the mission, it is worth doing. Subsequently, the people of the Ghost Fox organization began to arrange plans and acted one after another. This day, some domain ancestors of the human race had conflicts with outsiders. The domain ancestors of the human race were far from rising, and any supreme domain ancestor could suppress a large number of human domain ancestors. Since then, those foreign domain ancestors detained the human race domain ancestors and asked Yi Tian to apologize and compensate them before releasing those human race domain ancestors. Yi Tian knew that someone was making trouble, so he naturally dispatched a duplicate body to deal with it. But after they arrived, those domain ancestors talked to Yi Tian. Since these domain ancestors' behavior was not excessive, and there were many domain ancestors watching the excitement around, Yi Tian could never kill them, which would undoubtedly affect himself, reputation and influence the reputation of the human race. In desperation, Yi Tian could only reason with this group of domain ancestors. Yi Tian can also see that this group of domain ancestors is completely messing around. It stands to reason that all of them have reached the level of the ancestors of the strongest domain, so there is no need to mess around like this. Moreover, this is the territory of the human race, so it is really not good to do so. Yi Tian could also see that the Terran ancestor of the human race was indeed at fault, but it seemed that he had fallen into a trap. Everything was a planned action, deliberately cheating the Terran ancestor of the human race. Yi Tian didn't know what the purpose of these domain ancestors was, but they would definitely reveal their purpose. Human world. Yi Tian's body was cultivating, and at this moment, a supreme power domain ancestor sneaked into the human world. This Shanqiang ancestor disguised as a human race, followed a human race into the human world, and was not discovered by anyone. This supreme power domain ancestor is not an ordinary supreme strong domain ancestor, but a 4-star master level member of the Ghost Fox organization, Shuiyu domain ancestor, whose strength is comparable to that of the first-grade supreme strong domain ancestor. This kind of supreme ancestor, even if it encounters a weaker supreme leader, there is hope to escape. Therefore, the Ghost Fox organization dispatched this supreme ancestor to sneak into the human world. After Shuiyu entered the human world, he began to investigate the situation of Yi Tian's family. In the end, she locked one person, Yi Yu. Yi Yu is Yi Tian's younger sister, and now she is a top domain ancestor. Although her strength is not weak, she is not very strong either. To the ancestors of Shuiyu, he is undoubtedly an ant, and more importantly, Yi Yu is not in retreat now, but guides the geniuses of the human race to cultivate at a certain Li Nuos in the human world, and his whereabouts are well locked. This day, the ancestor of Shuiyu came to the place where Yi Yu was and saw Yi Yu preaching in a treasured cultivation place. Unexpected, Shuiyu has taken action, ... It's not good. Yi Yu was shocked. She knew that there was a strong domain ancestor who shot her, and the strength of the other party was terrifying. At this moment, suspicion is solid, there is no escape. Immediately, she urged her life-saving items and sent a message to her elder brother Yi Tian. However, the other party did not intend to kill her immediately, but directly cut off the space where she was located, sealed it, and fell into the other party's hands. Wow! After Shuiyu easily grabbed Yi Yu, she immediately began to escape, preparing to escape from the human world. Her purpose was to lead Yi Tian out of the human world, and besiege Yi Tian outside the human world. Chapter 1387 Instantly kill the ancestors of Shuiyu. Sister help! In the retreat place, Yi Tian opened his eyes, full of endless anger. Swish! Yi Tian immediately dispatched, and immediately mobilized the power of the Xuanshu Holy Realm to block the human realm. At this time, many human races found themselves unable to enter or leave the human world. Why can't you get out? Shui Uiyuzu was shocked. In the human world, countless people come in and out every day, so there are many import and export. But now, she passed through an entrance and exit, but found that she could not get out. The world is blocked. The ancestor of Shui Uiyu was not going to waste time waiting, so he directly attacked the barriers of the human world. It stands to reason that no matter how powerful a world like human world is, no matter how strong the formation it possesses, it is difficult to stop her attack. It should be very simple for her to leave, and she can easily break the barriers of the world and leave. However, boom, Shui Uiyuzu's strike hit the barrier of the human world, and it shook the void for billions of miles, but it still did not break the barrier of the human world. Damn, Wanfa Yuzu has completely blocked the human world so quickly. How can the defense of the human world be so strong? The ancestor of Shui Uiyu was stunned. She didn't even know that Yi Tian could mobilize all the power of the Xuanxu sacred realm, and he could also mobilize the power of the primordial well of creation, so the blessing in the human world was enough to prevent the 4-star king from getting out. Shui Uiyuzu kidnapped Yi Yu, which completely angered Yi Tian. He naturally would not hide it any longer, and immediately blocked the human world, preventing the enemy from leaving. There is an ancestor of the strong domain attacking the barriers of the human world, and the enemy has not had time to escape. Yi Tian breathed a sigh of relief. He was afraid that he would move slowly and cause the enemy to leave. In that case, it would be difficult for him to find the enemy. After the Shui Uiyuzu learned that he could not leave the human world, he escaped into a giant city in the human world at the fastest speed and hid. I sealed Yi Yu. Yi Yu can't communicate now, it is very difficult for Wanfa Yuzu to find me. Shui Uiyu ancestor thought. Right now, she can only hide first, and then think about how to leave the human world, or the members of the Ghost Fox organization outside the world will forcefully attack the human world, and then the inside and outside should lead him to leave. In short, she had to take Yi Yu out to be able to let Yi Tian's body leave the human world. I didn't expect the human world to be so extraordinary. Fortunately, the Ghost and Shadow Domain ancestors did not choose to assassinate in the human world, otherwise they would definitely fail, and even suffer heavy losses. Shui Uiyu Ancestral Dao. At this time, Yi Tian came to the place where the Shuiyu Domain ancestor bombarded the barrier of the human world, but did not find any trace of the Shuiyu Domain ancestor. Have you been hiding? Yi Tian sneered. In the eyes of his copy talent, any hiding is meaningless. Today, Yi Tian's copy talent covers a wide range. Wow, a territory is shrouded in Yi Tian's copy talent, countless creatures have been probed into the talent situation, Yi Tian has been screened to find the opponent's position. Not in this area, Yi Tian continued to search. After searching for an area, Yi Tian found it very quickly. In a giant city called Golden Light City, the talent of a domain ancestor was presented, and according to the introduction, he knew the identity of the other party. The ancestor of the Ghost Fox organization. Yi Tian could immediately be sure that the other party was the domain ancestor who had captured his sister. He didn't take action immediately, because he knew very well that this supreme power ancestor was not weak, and if he failed to kill this supreme ancestor, his younger sister Yi Yu would be in danger. According to the previous situation of this supreme territory ancestor's bombardment of the barriers of the human world, she is afraid that she has a combat power that exceeds the second level of the supreme territory ancestor, which is equivalent to the first level combat power of the supreme territory ancestor. Yi Tian guessed. The first level supreme strong domain ancestor is considered a real powerhouse in the dark sanctuary, but now he has come to the human world to kidnap his sister. Clearly, someone is going to deal with him. At this moment, Yi Tian thought of the situation of duplicating his body, which was entangled by a group of domain ancestors. At first, he wondered why those domain ancestors were making trouble. Now, he understands. Use some trivial things to hold my duplicate body, and then let someone kidnap my sister, and lead my body out of the human world, so as to launch a fatal attack on me. Yi Tian guessed CJFI track. If he did not possess the primordial well of creation, so that he could 100% control the power of the mysterious god realm, otherwise there would be no way to instantly block the human realm, and the human realm's defense would reach a terrifying level. It can only be said that the domain ancestors of the Ghost Fox organization underestimated him, thus causing such a situation. Take this Shui Uiyuzu as a first-class supreme ancestor. Yi Tian decided. His current combat power surpasses that of the first-grade supreme power domain ancestor, but if he kills a first-grade supreme power domain ancestor with one blow, it may be difficult. Therefore, he must rely on the power of Xuanxu Holy Realm. First use the sacred technique on the ancestor of the Shueyu, causing heavy damage to her soul, so that she can't attack her sister. Thinking to himself, Yi Tian used the sacred technique. Golden City. The ancestor of Shueyu was sitting in a restaurant, and his breath was restrained, not a single bit leaked out, and the whole person was like a quiet and graceful woman. Unexpected. A terrifying force penetrated deep into her soul. Not good. The ancestor of Shueyu was shocked. Boom. The sacred technique penetrated into the soul of the ancestor of the Shueyu territory. Although it was partially blocked by one of her top soul domain devices, a part of the power was blasted into her soul origin. What? The screams came. The soul of the ancestor of the Shueyu was severely damaged, and the whole person was in a state of soul confusion. At this time, Yi Tian shot again, and the first shot was the ultimate level holy skill of virtual slash, and it also blessed the power of the holy light of the soul and the power of the holy world of Xuanxu. The power of this blow was stronger than that of Yi Tian's peak attack. It must be 10 times stronger. At the same time, Yi Tian also mobilized the power of the Xuanxu Holy Realm to protect the Golden Light City and prevent it from being destroyed. Otherwise, if he strikes, the Golden Light City will be annihilated, and countless human beings will be turned to ashes. Puff! The virtual slash cut off the neck of the ancestor of the Water Moon domain, and the terrifying power went straight into the soul of the ancestor of the Water Moon domain. The ancestor of Shueyu was beheaded by Yi Tian without any resistance, but Yi Tian moved very quickly, and one hand penetrated into the world inside the ancestor of the moon, taking advantage of the fact that the world inside the ancestor of the moon was shattered. Instantly brought Yi Yu out to prevent Yi Yu from being affected by the power of the holy technique. Yi Yu came out, the ancestor of Shueyu fell, and things were over. Yi Tian lifted the seal on Yi Yu's body, and Yi Yu said, "Brother, I was taken away just now. It's okay, that person is dead. You go back to rest first." Yi Tian didn't care whether Yi Yu agreed or not, he forced several domain ancestors to take Yi Yu back, and did not let her go out during this time. In addition, Yi Tian also told his family not to leave the human world. After doing all this, Yi Tian looked beyond the human world. "Ghost Fox Organization, you are courting death," Yi Tian said coldly. Chapter 1388 Show strength and slaughter the ancestors of the strongest domain. Although Yi Yu was fine, Yi Tian would not let the Ghost Fox Organization go. The fall of the ancestor of Shueyu could not quell his anger. "Ghost Fox Organization, since you want to kill me, then I will fulfill your wishes." Yi Tian stepped over, walked out of the human world. He knows that the Ghost Fox Organization has dispatched a lot of the strongest domain ancestors this time, and there are even the strongest domain ancestors who are not weaker than him, but he is still not afraid. Power to suppress the enemy. Moreover, this fight is also an opportunity to understand one's own strength, so that one can know how powerful he is now. Therefore, he will take the initiative to walk out of the human world. Moreover, it is impossible for him to stay in the human world forever because of a small Ghost Fox Organization. Beyond the human world, when Yi Tian came out, one of the strongest ancestors of the Ghost Fox Organization who were hiding in the dark noticed it, and they all turned their attention to Yi Tian. But at this moment, they are also very curious. Where is the ancestor of the Shueyu? Ghost Shadow Domain ancestor and others frowned. The Shueyu Domain ancestor sneaked into the human world, captured Yi Tian's family, and led Yi Tian out. But now, Yi Tian has come out, but the ancestor of Shueyu has disappeared. This is not what they planned. Just then, Yi Tian opened his mouth and said, "The ancestors of the supreme power domain of the Ghost Fox Organization, come out." As soon as these words came out, many domain ancestors of the Ghost Fox Organization were shocked. This means they are exposed. The Shueyu ancestor is afraid that it has been exposed. Ghost Shadow Domain ancestor sound transmission. But what he doesn't understand is that even if the ancestor of Shueyu is exposed and the plan fails, it will not fall. Why hasn't it come out? And Yi Tian clearly knew that the Ghost Fox Organization attacked him. Why did he come out? Where is the ancestor of Shueyu? Ghost Shadow Domain ancestor appeared and asked Yi Tian. "She's dead," Yi Tian said lightly. "Impossible." The ancestor of the Ghost Shadow Domain didn't believe it. The ancestor of the Water Moon Domain is the 4-star master of our Ghost Fox Organization, even the most powerful domain ancestor on the Zanmen Shanqiang list. Don't think about killing her easily, just how could you kill her, and you don't even have a chance to ask her for help. He prefers that Shueyu Yuzu is trapped by Yi Tian and cannot communicate. Unexpected. Ancestor of Dark Charm Yu appeared from nothingness, holding a short sword, and instantly stabbed Yi Tian. Seeing this scene, Ghost Shadow Domain Ancestor smiled secretly. Even if he was discovered by Yi Tian, he would not waste time chatting with Yi Tian. The reason why he talked nonsense with Yi Tian was to create an opportunity for the ancestors of Dark Charm Domain to attract Yi Tian's attention. Then let the Dark Charm Domain ancestor use the strongest strike to assassinate, even if Yi Tian can't be killed. If it can hurt Yi Tian, that's not bad. Holy skill, Dark Track. Ancestor Dark Charm Yu's body instantly pierced away like a black light, and the speed was too fast. The ancestor of Dark Charm is not a saint, so the sacred skill he cultivated is not high, but it has reached the peak of entry. However, his own strength is very strong, and the holy light of his soul is very strong, so the blow that erupts is naturally very terrifying, far exceeding the blow of the ancestor of the Shueyu. However, Yi Tian's copying talent had already sensed the existence of the Dark Charm Domain ancestor. Therefore, he naturally knew about the attack of the Dark Charm Domain ancestor in advance, so he reacted in time. Holy Armor. Golden Body. 1. The Imperial Body. 1. Yi Tian used a holy skill, and did not dare to underestimate the attack of the ancestor of Dark Charm. Boom. Yi Tian was directly knocked into the air, but there was no serious problem, and the Dark Charm Domain ancestor also flew out. Your strength. Ancestor Dark Charm was shocked. Yi Tian's strength has obviously reached the battle strength of the Zanmen Shanqiang ranking Shanqiang Yuzu, and it is not an ordinary Xingqiang Shanqiang ancestor, at least in the 6th or 7th place, not weaker than him in the Ghost Shadow Domain. The two ancestors. I underestimated you. The ancestor of Dark Charm Domain disappeared in an instant, and it was astonishingly that he used another holy skill, hiding. However, this holy skill was completely restrained by Yi Tian, and there was no way to block the detection of copying talent. Let's do it together, Ghost Shadow Domain ancestor said coldly. Whoa. A very strong domain ancestor appeared, and each of the strong domain ancestors was very powerful, and a terrifying breath permeated this area. Human world. The ancestors of the human race were very worried and could not wait to go up and help. But they are also very clear that their own and others are too weak, and it is also a drag to go up to help. Ask for flowers. Moreover, Yi Tian had blocked the human world before, and they couldn't do it if they wanted to go out. Are they all out? Good. Yi Tian sneered. Seeing Yi Tian's smile, Ghost Shadow Domain ancestor trembled, as if he had expected something bad. At this moment, the power of Xuanshu Holy Realm blessed Yi Tian. Of course, Yi Tian would not explode all the power of the Xuanshu Holy Realm, but only increased his combat power by 7 or 8 times. 5 Elements Band. 1. The void is blocked. Yi Tian does not allow any of the Ghost Fox ancestors to leave. Afterwards, Yi Tian performed a virtual slash, aiming at a 4-star Master Level Supreme Domain ancestor. Puff. The 4-star Master Level Shanqiang ancestor was instantly killed. 0. At this moment, the ancestor of the Ghost Shadow Domain and the ancestor of the Dark Charm Domain finally understood why the ancestor of the Water Moon Domain did not appear, not trapped, but killed by Yi Tian. If they escaped before, Yi Tian couldn't kill them all. But now, they all appeared, Yi Tian blocked the void again, and they couldn't escape into the void. Puff puff. A well-known ancestor of the strong domain was beheaded by Yi Tian one by one. The ancestor of the Ghost Shadow wanted to stop Yi Tian, but was seriously injured by a blow, so he could only choose to avoid it and dare not rush forward. In this way, the 4-star Bronze, 4-star Silver, and 4-star Gold level members of the Ghost Fox organization all fell, and the 4-star Diamond and 4-star Masters also fell one after another, and there were not many remaining ancestors of the strong domain. In a short time, except for the ancestors of the Ghost and Shadow domains and the ancestors of the Dark Charm domain, all the other supreme ancestors were destroyed. But Yi Tian didn't have any injuries. No matter how powerful the previous desperate attacks of these supreme domain ancestors were, they could only give Yi Tian a small injury, and he recovered in an instant under the influence of the inextinguishable holy skill. Wanvaiazu, we have given up. Forgive us, we are members of the 4-star King of the Ghost Fox organization, and there are only a dozen or so 4-star Kings of the Ghost Fox organization. If you kill us, you will definitely offend the Ghost. The Fox organization. The Ghost Fox organization is not as good as the War Sect, but it is a force that must be retributed by Jairus. Once you kill us, it will definitely attract the revenge of the Ghost Fox organization. Ghost Shadow Domain Ancestor said quickly. Jajun must be reported, unfortunately, so am I. Yi Tian sneered at it. Chapter 1389. Prepare to take revenge on the Ghost Fox organization. Yi Tian started and killed the ancestors of Ghost Shadow Domain and Dark Charm Domain. These two 4-star kings have been seriously injured at this moment, and their fighting power is not much. How can they stop Yi Tian's attack? Puff. A virtual slash slashed towards the ancestor of the Ghost Shadow Domain. The void locked, and the Ghost Shadow Domain ancestor could not escape at all, so he could only take this blow hard. Ghost Shadow Domain ancestor fully mobilized a defensive holy artifact on his body, and used defensive holy skills to try to resist Yi Tian's attack. However, Yi Tian's attack with the power of the Xuanshu Holy Realm was not something that the ancestor of Ghost Shadow Domain could resist. In an instant, the ancestor of the Ghost Shadow Domain was cut into 2 pieces, but under the protection of the life-saving thing, his life was forcibly preserved, which made the ancestor of the Ghost Shadow Domain not fall. But they can't escape. No matter how advanced the life-saving thing is, it is useless. Soon, Ghost Shadow Domain ancestor couldn't hold it anymore. His soul was shattered by Yi Tian's sacred technique, and his body was chopped into pieces. In a short time of 607, the ghosts and shadows of the ancestors were annihilated, their souls were completely shattered, they could no longer be healed, and they completely fell and died. As soon as the ancestor of the Ghost and Shadow Domain died, the ancestor of the Dark Charm Domain could not hold on any longer, and soon followed in the footsteps of the ancestor of the Ghost and Shadow Domain. At this point, all the ancestors of the strong domain that the Ghost Fox organization attacked Yi Tian all perished. Of course, the Ghost Fox organization may still have the ancestors of the strong domain staying in the Xuanshu Holy World, but these top ancestors of the strong domain have all fallen, and there are at most some ordinary domain ancestors left, and they are not a threat. This battle fluctuated greatly, so it has long attracted the attention of other domain ancestors. As a matter of fact, the Supreme Power Domain ancestor came before, but Yi Tian blocked the void. These Supreme Strong Domain ancestors did not dare to break the void blockade, otherwise they would be enemies with Yi Tian. At this moment, Yi Tian lifted the blockade of the void, and an ancestor named Zhejiang appeared. Among them, the Herring Domain ancestor is also among them. Ghost Shadow Domain ancestor, Dark Charm Domain ancestor. Ancestor Herring was surprised when he saw the corpses of one of the strongest ancestors. Among them, the ancestors of the Ghost and Shadow Domains and the ancestors of the Dark Charm Domain are the famous ancestors of the Dark Sanctuary. If the two work together, even she is not necessarily an opponent. Moreover, the Ghost Fox organization also dispatched so many Supreme Domain ancestors. As a result, they were all killed by Yi Tian in a short period of time. At this moment, Yi Tian's strength refreshed the cognition of Herring Yuzu. The other domain ancestors were also very shocked, as if they had reacquainted with Yi Tian. The strength of Wanfa Yuzu is too terrifying. Many domain ancestors were secretly amazed. However, some supreme ancestors also watched Yi Tian's battle just now and sensed the surging power of the source of Xuanshu Sacred Realm. Obviously, Yi Tian mobilized the power of the Xuanshu Holy Realm, so that he could display such terrifying strength. Strange, even the Lord of the Holy Realm can't mobilize much of the power of a Holy Realm. It is very good to double the strength. Why can the ancestor of Wanfa Yu be able to increase so much strength? Herring Yuzu was very curious. However, she will not ask Yi Tian, it must involve Yi Tian's secret. I have seen the ancestors of Wanvayu. I have seen the ancestors of Wanvayu. 1. I have seen the ancestors of Wanvayu. 1. When an ancestor of the domain came, they respectfully said, and the tone was full of awe. After all, the Dark Sanctuary respects strength and status, and Yi Tian has a high status and strength, so they naturally dare not disrespect. Yi Tian didn't bother to pay attention to these domain ancestors, so he just let them go. And he dealt with the corpses of these Ghost Fox organizations, and then he came to the front of the Herring Domain ancestor and talked with him. Can the ancestor of Herring Yu understand the Ghost Fox organization? Yi Tian asked. Although he knew that these domain ancestors came from the Ghost Fox organization, he actually didn't know much about the Ghost Fox organization. I understand a little bit. Qingyu Yuzu nodded. There are many members of the Ghost Fox organization, some of them are public, but some Yuzu are very mysterious, no one knows their identities, almost all of them are secretly cultivated. Yes, there are even rumors that some members of the Ghost Fox organization have sneaked into the Holy Land and even the Holy Gate. Of course, this is just a rumor. But it is not necessarily true. But in any case, the overall strength of the Ghost Fox organization is definitely not weaker than a Holy Land. The leader of the Ghost Fox organization is a supreme-level domain ancestor, and there are many invincible domain ancestors, and the strongest domain ancestor is even more. There are many more, and the large number of supreme ancestors is also the middle force of the Ghost Fox organization. Then, the Herring Yuzu added. Wanfa Yuzu, the Ghost Fox organization's ancestor attacked you. The War Gate may suppress the Ghost Fox organization, but don't expect too much. After all, you are fine, but the Ghost Fox organization is. Many ancestors of the strong domain have fallen, and 2 4-star kings who are comparable to the level of the ancestors of the strong domain of the Xeon list have also fallen, and they have lost even more. So, it is impossible for Zonman to suppress the Ghost Fox organization for you. Moreover, the Ghost Fox organization has the backing of the ancestors, and it is impossible for Zonman to shoot easily. What's more, the competition between the Holy Gates is fierce now, and the contradictions are relatively large, so they will not care. Why? Understood. Yi Tian nodded. Herring Yu Yuzu thought that Yi Tian would just let it go, but she underestimated Yi Tian's anger. Battlefield Tower. Yi Tian contacted the Blood Gang domain ancestor of the War Gate and informed the Blood Gang domain ancestor of his attack. However, he did not ask Zonman to do anything, but asked Zonman to collect the information of the Ghost Fox organization, such as which 4-star kings and 4-star masters the Ghost Fox organization owns. Wanfa Yuzu, do you want to take revenge on the Ghost Fox organization? Blood Gang Yuzu frowned and asked. Retaliation doesn't count. I'm not qualified to take revenge on the Ghost Fox organization, I just want to learn from some of the strongest ancestors of the Ghost Fox organization. Yi Tian said with a smile. It is true to learn from each other, you can test your own combat power, and you can also kill the supreme ancestor of the Ghost Fox organization. The Blood Gang domain ancestor could see at a glance that Yi Tian wanted to kill the supreme domain ancestor of the Ghost Fox organization, and immediately reminded, Wanfa domain ancestor, don't underestimate the supreme strong domain ancestor of the Ghost Fox organization, even if you kill it you have 2 4-star kings, but you are relying on the power of the Xuanshu Holy Realm. In terms of real strength, you are not much stronger than the ancestors of the Ghost Shadow domain. Once you do this, the Fox organization will kill you at all costs. Blood Gang Yuzu, I want to know, can Zonman guarantee that the invincible domain ancestors and the supreme domain ancestors of the Ghost Fox organization will not take action? Yi Tian asked. Yes, the Blood Gang domain ancestor assured. Our War Gate is one of the top 10 holy gates, and this deterrent is still there. If you discuss with the Supreme Domain Ancestor of the 5.8 Ghost Fox organization in the name of sparring, the War Gate will make a statement that the Invincible Domain Ancestors and the Supreme Domain Ancestors are not allowed to intervene, and the Ghost Fox organization will never dare to dispatch the Invincible Domain Ancestors, otherwise they will be courting death. But we can't help you to resist their Supreme Domain Ancestors, you must think clearly. Ancestor of Blood Gang territory, my clone is special. I said this is the main body. They can't recognize it, so I won't fall. Yi Tian said with a smile. Only then did the Blood Gang domain ancestor suddenly realize, and immediately agreed. Even if Yi Tian really fell, it would be nothing but the loss of a clone, not a big deal. Soon after, Zonman issued a statement. It shows that the Ghost Fox organization attacked the Wanfa Yuzu of Zonman, and soon Wanfa Yuzu will challenge the super strong domain ancestor of the Ghost Fox organization, and neither the Ghost Fox organization nor the invincible domain ancestors of the Zonman and the supreme domain ancestors can shoot. War Gate issued this statement, and the Ghost Fox organization was angry on the spot. Chapter 1390 The Ancestor of Qingyang, the Holy Skill of Cause and Effect. Ghost Fox organization, a branch somewhere. Zan Wang Zanyuzu, who is one of the 10 emperors of the Ghost Fox organization, is extremely angry at this moment. The 10 emperors of the Ghost Fox organization represent 10 invincible ancestors, all of them are promoted from the 4-star kings, and have almost cultivated to the ultimate realm. In fact, the ancestors of the Blood Gangster domain only belong to the middle and upper tiers among the invincible domain ancestors of Zonman, and they were not too powerful. The reputation of the K-Zon Yuzu is stronger than that of the Blood Gang Yuzu, and he even has a record of escaping from the Supreme Yuzu. The strongest domain ancestors on the Xeon list are sure to kill the weaker invincible domain ancestors, but the invincible domain ancestors want to kill the supreme level domain ancestors, but they can hardly do it, because there are almost no weak people who can be promoted to the supreme level domain ancestors. Are true geniuses, and almost all of them are promoted to the level of geniuses at the level of the most powerful domain ancestors or 4-star kings on the top strong list. Therefore, the invincible domain ancestor wants to kill the supreme domain ancestor. It is a dream, even the saints are difficult to do. Therefore, the K-Zanyu ancestor was able to escape from the hands of the supreme domain ancestor. Such a record is indeed a brilliant achievement. Damn Wanfa Yuzu, not only beheaded the two 4-star kings of our Ghost Fox organization, but also dared to provoke the strongest ancestor of our Ghost Fox organization. The ancestor of the Bird War domain said coldly. If the other party was not the Zonman's supreme domain ancestor, he would have pinched the other party to death as early as 29. But he can't do it. Now, Zonman has issued this statement even more: if he dares to do something to Yi Tian, even if he really kills Yi Tian, Zonman will not let him go, and will even dispatch a top-level supreme domain ancestor, sweep their Ghost Fox organization. At that time, the ancestor behind the Ghost Fox organization will not come forward. After all, the Ghost Fox organization broke the rules first. Moreover, Zonman is one of the top 10 holy gates. How dare the Ghost Fox organization dare to fight against Zonman? Isn't that courting death? Even if the powerhouses of the War Gate are now caught in the competition of the primitive ancestral realm, any powerhouse can be sent to destroy the Ghost Fox organization. Therefore, Kei Zanyuzu can only roar angrily in this branch now, and dare not really go to the war door theory. Soon, Kei Zanyuzu calmed down. Then, he began to investigate the information of the ancestor of the law, and confirmed the general strength of the ancestor of the law. Although the ancestors of Wanvayu killed the two 4-star kings, the ancestors of the Ghost and Shadow domains and the ancestors of the Dark Charm domain, they actually used the power of the Xuanshu Holy Realm. Zhu is about the same, or a little stronger. The strength of most of the 4-star kings in the Ghost Fox organization is similar to that of Ghost Shadow domain ancestor. Even if they can defeat Wanfa Zhu, it is estimated that they cannot be killed if they want to kill Wanfa Zhu. At this time, Kei Zanyuzu thought of a person. This day, the Kei Zanyu ancestor came to the chaotic virtual river in the Dark Sanctuary. Chaos Void River is a forbidden place in the Dark Sanctuary. It is full of chaotic power and is very dangerous. Even the ordinary supreme ancestors dare not come here, otherwise they will easily fall and die. However, for some supreme ancestors and invincible ancestors, this place is a treasure. Because the chaotic power of the Chaos Void River is the favorite energy source of the ancestors who take the Chaos Way, so the Supreme Domain ancestors and invincibles who take the Chaos Way like to retreat here for a long time. Boom! The Kei Zanyu ancestor stepped into the Chaos Void River, and flew towards the depths of the Chaos Void River with the power of the Chaos Void River. The power of chaos is so annoying. The ancestor of the Bird War domain said coldly. He didn't like this kind of power very much, as if the whole body was in chaos and the soul was affected a little. If he hadn't come here to find someone, he wouldn't have come here at all. Soon, Kei Zanyuzu saw a mansion built in the depths of the chaotic virtual river. Qingyang Yuzu, here I come. The ancestor of the Bird War domain opened his mouth and said. Wow, a phantom of a person appeared in the mansion, a young man with black and white eyes. This person is the ancestor of Qingyang region. Qingyang Yuzu was silent in the Dark Holy Domain, and he hardly made any shots, so many powerhouses and forces did not know that the Ghost Fox organization had a person like Qingyang Yuzu. Qingyang has seen the ancestors of the Sparrow War territory. Qingyang respectfully said, as one of the 4-star kings, even the most powerful 4-star king in the Ghost Fox organization, he still did not dare to disrespect the ancestors of the Sparrow War territory. After all, Kei Zanyuzu is one of the 10 emperors of the Ghost Fox organization. However, he will not be too afraid of the ancestors of the Sparrow War domain. He felt that he would be able to reach the level of the ancestors of the Sparrow War domain in the future, so he faced the ancestors of the Sparrow Battle domain very calmly. Qingyang Yuzu, I have a task for you. The ancestor of the Bird War domain arranged. What mission? The ancestors of Qingyang region were a little curious. When he reached his level, he was immediately in the realm of impacting the invincible domain ancestors. It stands to reason that the Ghost Fox organization would not give him a task. Why did he give him a task now? And the ancestor of the Kei Zanyu came in person. Kei Zanyuzu said about Yi Tian, and immediately said, I hope you will take action and kill Wanvayazu. You can rest assured, even if you kill Wanvayazu, you will kill him by learning from each other, even if it is a war. The gate will not retaliate. If the War Gate dares to retaliate, the ancestor behind us will not ignore it. Qingyang Yuzu frowned, and he felt that this matter was not good for him, only bad. But he is not easy to refuse. After all, this is the mission of the Ghost Fox organization, and he is a member of the Ghost Fox organization. But he knew very well that beheading a holy man was no joke. Although the Kei Zanyu ancestor said that the holy man was not the descendant of the ancestor, they dared to say so with 90% confidence, but what if it was? In that case, even the ancestor behind him couldn't keep him. He knew very well that the Ghost Fox organization was nothing more than a pawn in the game between the ancestors, perhaps trying to draw out the ancestor who might exist behind Yi Tian. Otherwise, no one would dare to be a saint. I need the inheritance of 3 sacred skills, and I want a chance to enter the Chaos Realm Dead Cloud Valley. This is the price I paid for it. Moreover, it must be that the other 4-star kings in the Ghost Fox organization cannot deal with the ancestors of the Wanvyu under the circumstances. I will take action. Qingyang Yuzu put forward his own request. The Kazan Yuzu frowned. It was really too much for Qingyang Yuzu's request. Wait, I'm going to ask the leader. The ancestral way of the Bird War domain. Afterwards, Kazan Yuzu got in touch with the leader of the Ghost Fox organization. Not long after, the Kazanyu ancestor finally got the answer, and said to the Qingyang ancestor, yes, the leader has already agreed. But if you don't need to take action in the end, these rewards will not be given to you, and only you will take action. This reward will only be given to you if you kill the opponent or inflict heavy damage on the opponent. The ancestors of Wanvyu have a special clone, and they may not be able to come out of the main body. We can't control this, but you have the holy skill of karma, and we need you to use it. The holy skill of karma kills his main body through his clone. Your holy skill of karma is very rare, and I am afraid that the War Door would not have expected that our Ghost Fox organization has a supreme ancestor like you. 1. No problem, Qingyang Yuzu nodded. There is no difference between the clone and the main body. As long as he wants to kill, if the other party's main body does not come, he will still fall and die. This is his self-confidence, and the reason why Kazan Yuzu came to him. Chapter 1391 Entering the Dark Sanctuary for the first time. After Qingyang Yuzu agreed, Kazan Yuzu left Chaos Void River. Afterwards, the Kazan Yuzu summoned the other 4-star kings of the Ghost Fox organization. If these 4-star kings could defeat the Wanfa Yuzu, there was no need to let the Qingyang Yuzu take action, and the Ghost Fox organization did not need to give Qingyang Yu the rewards Zhu asked for. The other side, Yi Tian's cloned body constantly traveled through the dark forbidden area and headed to the Dark Sanctuary. Yi Tian's speed was very fast, and after tens of thousands of years, he came to the Forbidden River outside the Dark Sanctuary. Wow wow, the Forbidden River water turned into countless forbidden powers rolled in the Forbidden River, and the waves hit the void, making the void extremely chaotic. Although the Forbidden River is not very long, due to the chaos of the void here, it is impossible to travel through it. Otherwise, many domain ancestors would choose to travel in the past and cross the Forbidden River. But due to the chaos of the void, they could only choose to fly over, and the speed of the flight could not reach a fast level. Therefore, flying over the Forbidden River in this way is a very dangerous act, and if you are not careful, you will be killed by a large number of forbidden creatures in the Forbidden River. Yi Tian stepped into the Forbidden River in one step. Even though he concealed his breath, he still attracted the attention of the forbidden creatures. Sure enough, it is rumored that the Forbidden River is very special. Any concealment technique will be weakened countless times, and there is no way to hide the forbidden creatures here. Yi Tian muttered. There used to be half-step ancestral level saints who used hidden holy skills, all of which have been discovered. If there is no life-saving thing, and someone rescues them in time, otherwise the saint will also die. Boom! A forbidden creature similar to an octopus appeared, the size of a small world. Yi Tian's body is like a speck of dust in the eyes of the opponent. Maybe it's not as good as a speck of dust. I saw that the opponent's tentacles filled with countless black scales instantly shot, as if to kill Yi Tian with one blow. Die! Yi Tian used his holy technique to slay the gods, shattering the soul of this forbidden creature with just one blow, beheading the opponent. Along the way, a large number of taboo creatures attacked Yi Tian, but they were all very weak. They were basically taboo creatures at the top domain ancestor level, and there were some taboo creatures at the elite domain ancestor level. In Yi Tian's eyes, they were like ants. Whoa whoa whoa, the corpses of the forbidden creatures fell from the void, but so many forbidden creatures fell, but they still did not make the forbidden creatures afraid. In the Forbidden River, the forbidden creatures here do not have much wisdom at all, only the instinct of forbidden creatures. Unless it is a taboo creature with a relatively high bloodline level, they can be made to dare not shoot, otherwise they will not stop. Soon, Yi Tian crossed the Forbidden River without any injuries, very relaxed. After all, normal ancestors of the strong domain can cross the river of taboos, unless it is unlucky to encounter the forbidden creatures of the ancestor level of the strong domain. But the Forbidden River has no binding force on the ancestors of the strongest domain. It has really reached the level of the ancestors of the strong domain. The forbidden creatures will not stay in the forbidden river, and they have already looked for opportunities. Of course, the forbidden river must have forbidden creatures at the ancestor level of the strongest domain. But for Yi Tian, if the ancestor of the supreme domain is also an ant, unless he can reach the battle strength of the ancestor of the supreme domain, he is qualified to be taken seriously by him. As soon as he entered the dark sanctuary, Yi Tian immediately felt the difference between this place and the Daoshan realm. The primordial energy of chaos is too strong. Yi Tian was shocked. However, unlike the Daoshan realm, the dark forbidden realm is also full of strong dark taboo power. For ordinary creatures, the void of the dark sanctuary is a restricted zone, and once they enter, they will die. Because of this, the dark sanctuary has no continents, and is composed of a large number of giant cities and countless worlds. Yi Tian also came to the dark sanctuary for the first time. Instead of flying around, he notified Zanman immediately. Not long after, one of the most powerful ancestors of Zanman appeared in front of Yi Tian. Zanman Jingyuyu ancestor has seen Wanvayu ancestor. The ancestor of Jingyuyu said respectfully. He is not a core member of Zanman, just an ordinary ancestor of the domain. Thanks to his parents being the ancestors of the strong domain, he is qualified to join Zanman. But Yi Tian's strength was much stronger than his parents, so he naturally did not dare to disrespect Yi Tian. Lead the way, Yi Tian said lightly. Yes, the ancestor of Jingyuyu replied. Under the leadership of the ancestors of Jingyuyu, the two flew over a long territory and finally arrived at the headquarters of Zanman, Zanzuji. The ancestral realm is an ancestral realm, which is above the holy realm. The cultivation environment here is far beyond the holy world, and it is precisely because of this that the war gate can give birth to a large number of powerhouses. In fact, Yi Tian still doesn't know how powerful the power of Zanman is. After all, he has been staying in the Zanji Tower before, and the Zanji Tower is just a sacred object of the Zanman. How many strong people are there? Ancestor of Wanvayu, this is the world of war ancestors. The ancestral way of Beijing Yuyu. Then, the two entered the Zanzu world. Entering the Zanzu realm, Yi Tian clearly felt that the energy here was too strong, which was much better than the cultivation environment of the Xuanshu Holy Realm. It is conceivable how many good things can be born in the Zanzu world. It is no wonder that there are so many domain ancestors in the 10 great sacred sects, but not many people go to the Xuanshu sacred realm, because it is unnecessary. Even if the Xuanshu sacred realm is worse than the ordinary sacred realm, it is still far inferior to the ancestral realm. If it wasn't for the birth of the Soul Saint realm in the Xuanshu Holy Realm, it would not be able to attract people from the holy sect. Soon, an area of Yi Zanzu's realm, Tianyu no. The Zanzu realm is divided into 5 areas: the Yellow Realm, the Zan Realm, the Region, the Heaven Realm and the Ancestral Realm, and the ancestors of the realm usually live in the Heaven Realm. It belongs to countless ordinary creatures. These creatures are the descendants of the strong warriors in the War Gate, and they developed slowly. If any genius can be born, they can easily join the War Gate. The ancestral domain is the place where the ancestors, the supreme ancestors, and the invincible ancestors practiced. The ancestral domain is not large, but it is the area with the most abundant resources and the best cultivation environment in the ancestors of the war. It is the real first treasure of the ancestors of the war. Yi Tian is at the ancestral level of the strong domain, so he is naturally not qualified to enter the ancestral domain to practice, but occasionally entering the ancestral domain to meet the senior officials of the War Gate is still allowed. After coming to Zanzu realm, Yi Tian first went through the specific formalities of Zanman, and received a mansion of his own in Zanzu realm. This should have been done a long time ago, but because he has not been in the Dark Sanctuary, it was delayed. Soon after, everything was done. This day, Yi Tian came to the ancestral domain to visit the ancestors of the Blood Gang domain. Chapter 1392 The Realm of Time that is allowed to enter once in a lifetime. Blood Gang domain ancestor. 1 inch. Yi Tian came to the mansion of the ancestor of the Blood Gang territory, and saw the ancestor of the Blood Gang territory, said. Wanfa Yuzu, please take a seat. The ancestor of the Blood Gangland would not communicate with Yi Tian in a higher level tone. He knew very well that it would be very easy for Yi Tian to surpass himself in the future. Maybe in the future, he would still need to rely on Yi Tian, and naturally he had to have a good relationship with Yi Tian. The ancestors of the Blood Gangster, I wonder if there is some information about the Ghost Fox organization, such as where are the ancestors of the strong domain? Yi Tian asked. After all, this is the first time he has come to the Dark Sanctuary. He doesn't know much about this place, and naturally it is impossible to find the Ghost Fox organization. No matter how much time is given to him, he will not be able to find the Ghost Fox organization. The Blood Gang Domain ancestor said. I don't know where the headquarters of the Ghost Fox organization is, but Zonman has found out the location of several branches. This is about those branches, and some Ghost Fox organizations. Xian Yuzu's information and current position, all these information are given to you. Yi Tian took the information and said gratefully, thank you for the Blood Gang Domain ancestor. At this time, the ancestor of the Blood Gangland said again, the supreme ancestors of the War Gate have issued a big order, asking me to follow you. If the Ghost Fox organization secretly violates the provisions of 607, I will protect you. But if the invincible domain ancestor of the Ghost Fox organization doesn't make a move, it is impossible for me to make a move. Clear, Yi Tian nodded. Yi Tian chatted with the Blood Gang Yuzu for a while, then left here, returned to his residence, and began to study the information of the Ghost Fox organization. This information is not much, but the introduction about the Ghost Fox organization is more careful. In addition, the above also tells about the information of the 4-star king of the Ghost Fox organization. The deceased ancestors of the Ghost and Shadow domains and the ancestors of the Dark Charm domain are not counted, and there are 8 4-star kings in the Ghost Fox organization on the bright side. Among them, 2 of the 4-star kings, Yuanfeng Yuzu and Shuangui Yuzu, are the most notable ones. The strength of these 2 4-star kings is much stronger than that of ordinary 4-star kings, and they can almost rank in the top 30 of the Zonman Xian list. Their soul holy light is very rich, and they have all cultivated a holy technique to the realm of minor achievement, and they have also cultivated the holy body to the extreme realm, and they have mastered a lot of domain techniques and secret techniques. And both the domain body and the domain strength have been cultivated to the current extreme, extremely pure, if not to condense the holy soul. CJFI, these 2 4-star kings have already broken through to the invincible domain ancestor realm. Moreover, they are still very ancient ancestors of the strong domain, even older than many invincible domain ancestors. In addition to these 2 ancestors of the strong domain, the other ancestors of the strong domain are more general, that is, the level of the ancestors of the Ghost Shadow domain, and some are even inferior to the ancestors of the Ghost Shadow domain. Even though Yi Tian wanted to challenge the supreme ancestor of the Ghost Fox organization, it didn't mean that he would challenge immediately. He plans to use some of the treasures of the War Gate to cultivate for a while, and then challenge those supreme ancestors of the Ghost Fox organization. After all, he hadn't worked hard in the war sect before, and he didn't use many treasures and benefits. Once he used it, he could strengthen some of his strength, and he would be more confident at that time. The only pity is that his current body is a replica body. Although it can be cultivated, it is not necessary to improve his cultivation, and it is a complete waste. But the holy skill can be improved. Once another holy skill is cultivated to the limit, Yi Tian's strength will increase even more. The ancestral relics are helpful for the cultivation of holy skills, but there are not many ancestral relics in the battle gate, and such consumption-like opportunities are rarely given. However, there is a treasure land in the War Gate that is envied by countless people, but the ancestors of the domain are only allowed to enter once. This treasure is the realm of time in the Zanzu world. The realm of time is similar to the Gate of Stone Eyes in the Tiandi Palace, except that the Gate of Stone Pupils is too low level, but the realm of time is extremely magical, where time is almost frozen. No matter how long you practice in it, it will come out time. However, if you cultivate in the realm of time, you cannot cultivate for too long, otherwise it will be easily assimilated by time, and will be integrated into the realm of time forever. Moreover, once it is assimilated, no one can save it. After all, if the outside world has not come out for a moment in the past, it means that it has been assimilated. Because of this, Zonman does not allow the domain ancestors to enter the second time, otherwise the second time will almost be assimilated. Only one entry is allowed, so many domain ancestors will only enter the realm of time after stepping into the invincible domain ancestor. Yi Tian, as the former First Holy Son, naturally has the right to enter the realm of time. He is going to take advantage of this opportunity to enter the realm of time, and maybe be able to transform his strength. This day, in front of the Temple of Time, Yi Qingtian came here. At this time, there are 2 invincible ancestors sitting here. I have seen 2 domain ancestors. I am the ancestor of Wanfa, this is my token, I want to enter the realm of time to practice. Yi Tian took out his token and said, "We know you want to enter the realm of time to practice. Have you thought about it? Entering the well of time in the invincible domain ancestor realm is the most cost-effective, after all, you can only enter once in a lifetime. There is no way to improve the well of time, nor the way to improve your soul holy light. Even if you have raised your cultivation base to a higher realm in the realm of time, it will return to the original state after you come out. What you can bring out can only be perception, don't waste a chance. One of the invincible domain ancestors persuaded. I thought about it, Yi Tian said seriously. Well, let's review it and notify the above. The two invincible domain ancestors reported Yi Tian's situation, and the formalities were completed soon after, which allowed Yi Tian to enter the realm of time. The entrance to the realm of time is a huge gate of time and space, but unlike the gate of time and space in the dark destruction domain, the gate of time and space of the war gate is to the realm of time and has no other use. The ancient gate of time and space opened, and Yi Tian stepped into it. Wow, countless time power wrapped Yi Tian, and Yi Tian came to a whole new world in an instant. This is a valley, and everything around it seems to be the same as an ordinary valley, but in Yi Tian's eyes, it is all composed of the power of time. This is the world of time, the realm of time. Yi Tian sat cross-legged and began to comprehend holy skills, and found that there are also other forbidden ways here, but it was suppressed by the power of time, so it couldn't appear, but it did not affect Yi Tian's comprehension of other ways. However, the most suitable for comprehension is the holy skill of time. But Yi Tian happened to know the time holy skill, so I have to say that this place is really suitable for Yi Tian. It's right, I can't reach it. Holy skill, I will definitely be able to reach it. Yi Tian said confidently. Chapter 1393 8 Trillion Years of Penance. Start practicing. Yi Tian began to comprehend the holy skill of time, eternal holy skill. The eternal holy skill is currently in the state of perfection, but because it is relatively difficult to cultivate, it is only in the state of just completion, and it is still a long way from the limit state, and Yi Tian rarely comprehends the holy skill of time. But it's different now. In the realm of time, Yi Tian's speed of comprehension is not slow, although it is far from the effect of using the ancestors' method and using the ancestral relic to comprehend the sacred skills. But the key point is that this is the realm of time, where the endless years are understood, and the outside world only passes for a moment. Of course, the premise of everything is that you can stick to it all the time, otherwise you must find yourself before being completely assimilated by time and leave. At this time, Yi Tian could feel that his body was being affected by the power of time here, and his body was being wiped out by the power of time. Yi Tian was thinking about a question. His cloned body was assimilated here, the body should be fine, does that mean that he can enter here again and again? After all, the clones of other domain ancestors can't enter the realm of time. Once they enter, they will be separated from the main body in time and space, and they will automatically dissipate, and there is no way for the clones to cultivate. But Yi Tian's copy body is equivalent to the main body, which means that Yi Tian can enter the realm of time again and again. Certainly, Yi Tian didn't dare to try it. After all, he didn't understand the realm of time. If the realm of time could ignore the difference between the body and the copy body, and pull his body into the time to assimilate, then he have fallen. He wouldn't dare to do such a risky thing. Time passed slowly, and for him with an infinite lifespan, the time here has no meaning. Moreover, the soul that replicates the body is in a very wonderful state, and can connect with the body, but this connection seems to be stagnant because the time outside is imprisoned for him. No matter how many years he has cultivated here, the time outside will not pass. Therefore, he has no way to communicate with the ontology. Million years, thousands of years, 100 million years. Since Yi Tian doesn't have a time-based ancestor technique, he naturally cannot comprehend the time-holy technique quickly. Even if the realm of time is suitable for comprehending the time-holy technique, the improvement effect is only tenfold. But originally Yi Tian wanted to cultivate a time-holy skill to the limit, at least need tens of billions of years. This is the time it takes without any resources and treasures. Otherwise, many domain ancestors in the Dark Sanctuary have already cultivated a sacred technique to the extreme realm, but in fact it is difficult for even the supreme domain ancestors. It is useless to cultivate a holy skill to the extreme realm, cultivating for trillions of years. In the blink of an eye, more than 3 billion years have passed. It can be said that this is also the first time Yi Tian has retreated for such a long time, but for many supreme ancestors of the Dark Sanctuary, billions of years are not too long. At this time, Yi Tian finally took the eternal holy technique to the limit. The eternal holy skill has reached the limit, it's time to comprehend other holy skills. Yi Tian muttered, comprehend the sacred skills of the body first. This sacred skill can increase the overall strength and increase other sacred skills, and it is most useful. Yi Tian also doesn't know how many holy skills he can cultivate to the limit here, so he must maximize the benefits, so it is the most cost-effective thing to first understand the sacred skills. And the comprehension effect of the imperial body holy skill here is not as good as the outside world, and there is no treasure to increase the cultivation, so the time spent is probably longer than that of the eternal holy skill. But time is just a number to Etn, so he doesn't care how much time it takes. 1 billion years have passed. 10 billion years have passed. If Etn didn't know too much about the way of time, otherwise, as the long years passed, he would not be able to remember how much time had passed. A full 300 billion years had passed before Etn finally cultivated the sacred technique to the limit. You must know that he is a holy man. It took him so long to cultivate a holy skill to the limit. Even if other holy men spend some treasure resources or treasures that help to comprehend to practice holy skills, at least it also takes tens of billions of years to cultivate a holy skill to the limit. But in fact, how many saints are willing to spend so long to comprehend a sacred skill? As for other non-holy gifted people, without the existence of holy gift, I am afraid that for countless trillions of years, there is no way to cultivate a holy skill to the limit state, and even to cultivate it to the realm of great achievement. This is also the sadness of ordinary practitioners. Ask for flowers. This is why so many supreme ancestors have to spend endless years, and also want to raise their souls to the level of holy souls. Because once the holy soul is promoted to the invincible domain ancestor, a natal holy gift can be born, and it will be on an equal footing with the holy gift. There is no holy endowment, the gap between each other is too big. After cultivating for 300 billion years, Etn almost collapsed. In desperation, he could only perform an illusion, create an illusion world, let himself relax for a while, and calm his mind. Otherwise, if you continue to cultivate so hard, no matter how tenacious your state of mind may not be able to stabilize. Point 0. Although the cultivation in the realm of time is good, it takes too long. If the Tao heart is unstable, I am afraid that I will go crazy and go out long ago. Yi Tian thought to himself. Afterwards, Yi Tian took a look at his body, and it was already 1% eroded by the realm of time. In other words, he can still cultivate for a very long time. In fact, once the erosion reaches 50%, it is very dangerous, and it may be assimilated by the realm of time at any time. Therefore, those who enter the realm of time must come out when their bodies are eroded by time 49%. Once assimilated, it is an instant thing, and it is too late to come out. After cultivating the holy body holy technique to the limit, Yi Tian began to practice other holy techniques, such as holy armor holy technique, suppressing holy technique, indestructible holy technique and so on. With the passage of time in units of billions of years, Yi Tian's holy skills are progressing. Holy armor holy skills, extreme realm. The sacred skill, the ultimate realm. Indestructible holy skill. With the cultivation of a sacred skill to the limit, Yi Tian has cultivated for more than 1 trillion years in the realm of time, and such a long time is an astronomical number that he never dared to imagine in the past. It seems that I have the hope of cultivating all the holy skills to the limit here. Yi Tian murmured. Chapter 1394 The first self-created holy skill. Yi Tian calmed down, rested every long period of time, emptied his mind, and continued to comprehend holy skills after he recovered. In this way, 1 trillion years and 1 trillion years have passed. As more and more holy skills entered the extreme realm one by one, Yi Tian's strength naturally became stronger and stronger, and it was much stronger than before. This day, Yi Tian's last holy skill, streaming light, has also entered the limit state, marking that all of Yi Tian's holy skills have been upgraded to the limit state, and it also means that his practice this time is over. The body has been eroded by 40%. Yi Tian looked at his body and muttered. There is still a long time left, if he leaves like this, it will be a waste. He plans to continue to practice for a while. But the holy skills have been cultivated, there is no way to continue to improve, and it is useless to improve the cultivation base. What else can you do? 67. Yi Tian pondered for a while, preparing to perfect his own endless domain law, and then create a holy skill that suits him, so as not to waste time. So, Yi Tian spent tens of millions of years to perfect his endless domain law, making it more perfect than before, making up for some loopholes. After all, the endless domain law was created by Yi Tian a long time ago. It is still low, and it has not yet entered the realm of the ancestors of the strong domain. Many theories are conjectured. Now, he has really stepped into the realm of the ancestors of the strongest domain, and there are little loopholes in some aspects. Although the impact is not large, it is naturally best to improve it now. The perfected endless domain law is more suitable for him, and it can improve his cultivation and refine the domain body and domain power faster. Afterwards, Yi Tian began to try to create holy skills. Under normal circumstances, only the supreme domain ancestors are qualified to create holy skills, and it is more difficult for the invincible domain ancestors to create a holy skill. However, if Yi Tian spends a lot of time, there is still hope to create a holy skill. Because he has practiced a variety of sacred skills, and all of them have reached the limit, his understanding of sacred skills has even surpassed that of the supreme domain ancestors, so there is hope to create sacred skills. Create a time holy skill. I only have one time holy skill now, I need to create another time holy skill. Yi Tian thought to himself. His eternal holy skill can hold time, and its power is terrifying. However, he doesn't need to fix the holy skill of time anymore, which is equivalent to overlapping with the eternal holy skill. One of the same holy skills is enough, and another one is a waste. So, Yi Tian is going to create another time holy skill. After thinking about it for a long time, Yi Tian thought about it, and he was going to create a holy skill that could spy on future fragments. In this way, during the battle, you can spy on what moves and whole cards your opponent will use, so as to deal with them, so as not to be killed by the opponent's whole cards. This time, he needs to compete with the many supreme ancestors of the Ghost Fox organization. If the opponent has a rare whole card and can deal a fatal blow to him, and he does not react in time, then he will die. Therefore, if you have a holy skill that can spy on future fragments, you will not be afraid of any means by the other party. Create in this direction, Yi Tian decided. 100 million years and 100 million years passed. Yi Tian was at a loss from the beginning, then slowly got some clues, then got a little sign, and then started to create a preliminary. Yi Tian is extremely firm that he can create the holy skill of time, and can withstand the passage of time. In addition, the realm of time is filled with the power of time, so it is indeed very suitable for creating the holy skill of time. Yi Tian tried to create again and again, and applied for the continuous display of incomplete time holy skills prototypes so as to improve and transform. In this way, Yi Tian's body erosion degree gradually changed from 40% to 3% to 40%, 40%, 40%, 40%. As Yi Tian's body erosion level gradually approached 49%, Yi Tian was also a little anxious. No matter what, once it is infinitely close to 50% erosion, he has to leave, and he doesn't want to give his life to luck. The holy skill of time has not yet been created. Yi Tian tried his best to calm down his impatience and continued to create. After a long time, Yi Tian's body erosion level has reached 49%. At this time, Yi Tian's time holy skill has not yet been created, but it is very close to being created, and it seems that it may be created at any time. Now, Yi Tian is no longer in a hurry, even if he really can't create it. After the big deal goes out, he will use other treasures in the war gate to comprehend it, and there should be hope to create it. After all, there are still some treasures for creating magic domain techniques during the war gate. Although the effect is not necessarily against the sky, it is much better than the creation effect of the realm of time. The realm of time only allows people to have countless years of time to cultivate. In fact, there is no auxiliary effect. With such a state of mind, Yi Tian's state of mind entered the water, but the speed of creation was much faster. Just when Yi Tian's body erosion level was about to reach 50%, Yi Tian finally succeeded. Ha 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 ha, finally created it. Yi Tian shouted excitedly, and the voice spread throughout the realm of time. This time, he spent so long that he was about to forget the time himself, just looking at the degree of erosion of his body. In short, he succeeded and created his first self-created holy skill. This time holy skill is called Time Fragment. Yi Tian named it. The holy skill Time Fragment was created. Yi Tian is not going to practice here. He doesn't want his body to be assimilated by the well of time after the erosion level reaches 50%, it would be too unfortunate. It's time to leave, go out and practice the holy skill Time Fragment. Yi Tian's mind moved, and he activated a token. This token can take him out of the realm of time, otherwise he will have no way to leave. Leave, Yi Tian urged the token, and instantly disappeared from the realm of time. Temple of Time. After the two unguarded, they came in an instant, but their aura changed drastically, which is not surprising. They also know that Yi Tian has cultivated in the realm of time for a long time, and it is very normal that he has not fallen into the devil when he just came out. Many invincible domain ancestors entered the realm of time, and they almost fell into the devil after coming out, and their breath was extremely chaotic. Comparatively speaking, Yi Tian is a very normal one. Yi Tian did not stay here, and quickly left the Temple of Time and returned to his residence. In the days that followed, Yi Tian did not practice. He had practiced for too long. Now, where would he practice again? Even if he had just created the time fragment holy skill, he did not practice. Enter all continents and worlds in the battlefield tower to experience. In this way, he will be able to fully recover. In fact, at the moment when the copying body came out, Yi Tian's body also received the memory, and he had no choice but to go out. He practiced in various places in the Xuanxu sacred realm. In a blink of an eye, 1,000 years have passed. Chapter 1395 The challenge begins. Finally recovered. Yi Tian breathed a sigh of relief. It took thousands of years and countless experiences to calm down my mind, eliminate the idea of being bored with cultivation, and return to a normal state of mind. My mood is still a little lower. Although this time I have been practicing hard for countless years, and I have been in a state of loneliness, but it is so easy to have a mentality problem, and my mood is still not high. I will specially improve my mood in the future. Yi Tian secretly said. Now, Yi Tian's state of mind has recovered, and he is ready to retreat and practice again, and cultivate the time fragment holy technique he created to the perfect state, so that he can ensure that this holy technique can exert a powerful effect. There are a lot of treasures in the war gate. In the following days, Yi Tian used his previous treatment one by one, entered the treasured places to help him cultivate, and realize the time fragments of sacred skills. Coupled with the assistance of some treasure resources from the war gate, Yi Tian practiced holy skills very fast. What's more, this holy skill was created by Yi Tian himself, so the speed of improving the realm is naturally faster. Only 29 years and tens of thousands of years have passed, Yi Tian has successfully cultivated this holy skill to the perfect state. As for raising it to the extreme realm, the difficulty is relatively high and it will take a long time. Yi Tian gave up temporarily. After all, Zanman has already been advertised. He is going to challenge the supreme ancestor of the Ghost Fox organization. If he has been cultivating in the Zanzu world, outsiders may say that he is timid and afraid to go out at the Zanman headquarters. Woolen cloth. Therefore, he has to challenge the supreme ancestor of the Ghost Fox organization. Dark Sanctuary, Golden Bone City. As one of the giant cities, the Golden Bone City is also one of the city-level forces. The city owner is the ancestor of the Golden Bone domain of the Supreme Power domain. His strength is not weak, and he also has the strength of the third grade of the Supreme Power domain ancestor. Otherwise, there is no way to do it. Build a city-level force steadily. If it was an ordinary Supreme Power domain ancestor, who would dare to build a city-level force, it would have been wiped out long ago. The ancestor of the Golden Bone region also has some background. It is rumored that he is the son of a sect elder, so he has a relationship with the sect, and naturally a city-level force can be established steadily. On this day, Yi Tian came to the Golden Bone City. The Golden Bone City is here, Yi Tian muttered. According to the information from Zanman, a 4-star master of the Ghost Fox organization settled in the Golden Bone City, so he came here. Yi Tian was too lazy to go directly into the Golden Bone City to find someone, but swept away with his copy talent to lock the position of the 4-star master, the ancestor of the famous sword domain, and immediately shouted, "The ancestor of the famous sword domain, come out." 1. Who? Famous saber domain ancestor was refining a domain tool blade when he suddenly heard Yi Tian's voice, which was full of power and came straight at him, interrupting his refining tool immediately. Immediately, he was annoyed. The reason why he settled in the Golden Bone City is because this giant city is close to an area in the Dark Sanctuary that is good at ore, so there are a lot of top-level materials here, and a huge amount of materials can be obtained at any time, so that he can continuously refine the knife domain controller. He has a secret technique. He can comprehend the Tao of the blade by refining the blade, and even comprehend the profound technique of the domain of the blade, and he can even temper his own tyrannical sacrament through the refining. He is very serious about refining tools and absolutely does not allow anyone to disturb him, otherwise he will be his enemy. Swish! The ancestor of famous sword region locked Yi Tian outside the Golden Bone City and flew over in an instant. And this scene also attracted the attention of many ancestors of the Golden Bone City, and even the city owner of the Golden Bone City was alarmed. Famous sword domain ancestor can be called the #1 powerhouse in the Golden Bone City. Although he is not a city-level force in the Golden Bone City, the Golden Bone City Lord has also gotten to know the famous sword domain ancestor. After all, sometimes it is necessary to rely on the famous sword domain ancestor to deter foreign enemies. Who dares to trouble the ancestor of the famous sword domain? The Golden Bone domain ancestor was curious. He didn't step forward to help. After all, his power is far inferior to that of the famous swordsman ancestor. If he can't deal with the famous swordsman, wouldn't he be courting death if he went up? Therefore, watching the game is the best choice. Outside the Golden Bone City, Ancestor famous swordsman stared at Yi Tian and frowned. He hasn't seen Yi Tian, so he doesn't know who Yi Tian is. However, he could feel that Yi Tian's strength was not easy, and he was afraid that it would be difficult to deal with. Who are you? Famous sword domain ancestor asked. The ancestor of Wanvaiu Yi Tian. Yi Tian reported to his family, "You are the supreme ancestor of the Ghost Fox organization, and the Ghost Fox organization attacked me, and I will officially challenge the supreme ancestor of the Ghost Fox organization today, the famous swordsman. Zhu, you are my first challenge object." What? You are the ancestor of Wanvaiu? The expression of the ancestor of the famous sword domain changed greatly. In these years, although he has been refining weapons, he has not paid much attention to the Ghost Fox organization. After all, he does not need to accept tasks during these years, but the Ghost Fox organization has also sent him some information, including the matter of the ancestors of Wanvaiu. But for a long time, he felt that this matter should not be his turn. Unexpectedly, Yi Tian was the first to find him. If he had known earlier, he should have been hiding in the branch or headquarters. The ancestor of Wanfeiyu, I'm just a 4-star master, you should challenge the 4-star king. The ancestor of the famous sword region said in fear. You are the ancestor of the supreme domain, and I am also the ancestor of the supreme domain, but the cultivation realm can be the same as you. Could it be that you are weak in combat, so I can't challenge you? It's a joke. If the enemy is stronger than yourself, then what else is there to challenge? The challenge must challenge the weak. Yi Tian said with a smile. The ancestor of the famous sword region had a very reasonable idea, but he didn't want to learn from Yi Tian. Unexpected. The ancestor of the famous sword domain sacrificed 6.07 million domain devices, and they were all top domain devices, and they were swords. A large number of sword domain devices appeared in the sky, turned into a sword array, and enveloped Yi Tian. Burst. Famous sword domain severely injured Yi Tian. 5. And he did not continue to shoot, but instantly inspired a secret treasure and escaped. Fighting with Yi Tian, he is not stupid. Now, he just wants to run away. However, as soon as he activated the secret treasure, one hand came out of nothingness and interrupted his escape. Then, a spear pierced through his body, and the power of a holy skill burst out, that is the power of a domineering holy skill. Boom! The body of the famous sword domain ancestor was blown up and fell on the spot. And the self-destruction of the large amount of knives did not hurt Yi Tian at all, and it was difficult to stop Yi Tian. Yi Tian is proficient in space holy techniques, and a space escape holy technique easily left the area where the knife self-exploded. It has to be said that the strength gap between the two is too great. When the ancestor of the famous sword domain fell, Yi Tian performed the holy technique of empty escape and left. Not far away, many domain ancestors in the Golden Bone City were dumbfounded. The ancestor of the famous sword domain was killed in seconds. They couldn't believe it. This was the #1 powerhouse in the Golden Bone City. Chapter 1396 Thunder Island Branch, Yi Tian is here. After the fall of the self-named sword domain ancestor, Yi Tian found several 4-star masters of the Ghost Fox organization under the information of Zonman, and killed them one by one in the name of challenge. 4-star masters are not weak, even if they are placed in the Dark Sanctuary, they are the real powerhouses among the ancestors of the Supreme Power. The first Supreme Ancestors in many sects are estimated to be at the level of 4-star masters. Moreover, this kind of 4-star master also has the hope of becoming the 4-star king and becoming the card face of the Ghost Fox organization. Therefore, the fall of many 4-star masters is also a huge loss to the Ghost Fox organization. Wanfeiyu, you are courting death. The ancestor of the Bird War domain said angrily. This time, Wanfeiyu actually went to challenge the 4-star master of their Ghost Fox organization, which was something he didn't expect. No, that's not a challenge, it's a slaughter. In his view, this is not a challenge at all, but a revenge. At this moment, Kei Zanyu's killing intent on Yi Tian has risen to the limit, and he can't wait to kill Yi Tian immediately. All the ancestors of the strong domain are hiding, the 4-star diamonds and the 4-star masters all enter the branch, and are not allowed to show up. Kei Zanyu issued this order. This is also no way, the intelligence ability of Zonman is very powerful, if the 4-star master hides, it is easy to be found, and thus die in the hands of the ancestors of Wanveiyu. Therefore, in order to ensure that the 4-star master no longer loses, he must hide in the branch. As for the other supreme ancestors, he couldn't control them, so he could only choose to hide. However, he felt that Wanfa Yuzu would not go to the trouble of ordinary super strong domain ancestors, because there were too many, and it was not important to the Ghost Fox organization, and it was useless to kill more. At the same time, he notified the 4-star kings of the Ghost Fox organization, informing them that Yi Tian was coming. The 4-star master is gone. Yi Tian received the message from Zanman, and immediately understood that the Ghost Fox organization was also afraid, so the 4-star masters hid. After all, there are not many 4-star masters of the Ghost Fox organization. They lost some in the Xuanshu Holy Realm before, and now they have lost several more, which can be said to be a heavy loss. According to this, the 4-star master of the Ghost Fox organization is afraid that the fault will be broken, so he can only choose to hide. Since the 4-star master of the Ghost Fox organization is hiding, then go directly to the branch of the Ghost Fox organization and challenge the 4-star king. Yi Tian decided. There are only 2 branches of the Ghost Fox organization, one is located in the sea and the other is located in the wasteland. The Huahai is a magical sea surrounded by countless thunders. It is suitable for the cultivation of the ancestors of the thunder system. There are many branches of the forces located there, and a branch of the Ghost Fox organization is hidden there. The general forces do not know this matter, but Zanman, as a holy gate, naturally investigated it. This day, Yi Tian came to Haohai. Boom! Above the sea of rage, thunder rolls, full of infinite vitality and destruction. Yi Tian ignored the thunder and entered the sea of rage. The Huahai is very huge and can be said to be boundless. Even if the ancestors want to cross the entire Huahai, it will take a lot of time. Its area is even larger than the current Daoshan boundary, which shows how big the Huahai is. Soon, Yi Tian came to the vicinity of a thunder island. This thunder island is shrouded in fog, with lightning flashes and full of mystery. And here is one of the branches of the Ghost Fox organization, also known as the Thunder Island branch. Lei Juyu, come out. Yi Tian said loudly. According to the information, Lei Juyuzu is in this branch. If he doesn't come out, he will keep shouting and even attract other domain ancestors. At that time, it will be the Ghost Fox organization who will be embarrassed. Therefore, it is impossible for the Ghost Fox organization not to send people out. Ray Island branch. Knowing that Yi Tian was shouting outside the branch, Lei Juyuzu immediately wanted to go out and kill Yi Tian, but was stopped by an invincible domain ancestor from this branch. Lei Juyuzu, Lord Kujin Yuzu has an order. You must wait for the other 4-star kings to come together before you can go out and learn from Wanfa Yuzu. We must guarantee to win, and you are definitely not the opponent of Wanfa Yuzu. Quote. Invincible Domain Zule Steel Domain Ancestral Road. Lord Lei Gang, do you despise me? Ancestor Lei Juyu said unhappily. It's not that I look down on you, but the ancestor of Wanvayu is a saint who has entered the Zanzu world to practice for a period of time. Now his strength may be stronger than what we know. Ancestor Lei Gang you reminded. I understand, when the 4-star kings arrive, I will go out. Ancestor Lei Ju said helplessly. As time passed, the 4-star kings rushed to the Thunder Island branch. At the same time, the Thunder Island branch's Thunder Steel Domain ancestor appeared in front of Yi Tian. Wanfa Yuzu, Ligang Yuzu is at a critical juncture of cultivation. I hope Wanfa Yuzu can wait for a few days, can you? Lei Steel Yuzu apologized. Can. Yi Tian knew that the Ghost Fox organization might be gathering the 4-star kings, but he was not afraid, so he nodded. The 4-star kings of the Ghost Fox organization gathered one by one, which was a good thing for him. At least there was no need to look for them one by one. If these 4-star kings were beheaded, it would be enough to make the Ghost Fox organization heartache unceasingly. In the blink of an eye, several years have passed. This day, Yi Tian opened his eyes and looked into the distance. Quote. There is an ancestor of the strong domain. As soon as he finished speaking, a 3-meter-tall majestic man appeared with a big axe in his hand, exuding a terrifying aura. The 4-star king, Mengu Yuzu. Then, another person appeared. It was another 4-star king of the Ghost Fox organization, the ancestor of the Black Scale domain. However, the 2 4-star kings that Yi Tian was more concerned about, the ancestor of Yuanfengyu and the ancestor of Shuangui, did not appear. Yi Tian guessed that the Ghost Fox organization was basically trying to test his strength and would not immediately dispatch the 2 strongest 4-star kings. Yi Tian doesn't care either. If it was before, he might still be worried about his lack of strength, but now that he has come out of the realm of time, his strength has soared, and he is naturally not afraid of these 4-star kings. The ancestors of the Black Scale domain, the ancestors of the Mengu domain, the ancestors of the Leiju domain, and the 3 4-star kings appeared. Kings Zhao, Wanfa Yuzu, do you want to challenge me? Ancestor Lei Juyu said coldly. Good, Yi Tian replied no. Then come on, today I will kill you to avenge the fallen supreme ancestors of the Ghost Fox organization. 1. Ancestor Lei Juyu roared and turned into thunderlight and rushed towards Yi Tian. Holy skill, thunder explosion. Ancestor Lei Juyu waved his hand, and countless thunderbolts exploded, turning into the thunder territory, covering this area, and naturally covering the place where Yi Tian was. This holy skill is a large-scale holy skill, and there is almost no way to avoid it. Ordinary 4-star masters are almost certain to die in the face of this move. Ancestor Lei Juyu also does not expect this move to kill Yi Tian, but at least there is hope to hurt Yi Tian. However, he underestimated Yi Tian's defense. The Holy Armor of the Ultimate Realm plus the Golden Body Holy Armor of the Ultimate Realm, these two holy skills are activated, making Yi Tian's defensive power reach a terrifying level, and the Thunder Domain can't hurt him at all. Chapter 1397 The Fall of the 4-Star King. Yi Tian stood in the minefield and ignored the minefield attack. When the ancestor of Lei Juyu saw this scene, he was shocked. The Holy Armor of the Extreme Realm, the Golden Holy Technique of the Extreme Realm. Ancestor Lei Juyu said incredulously. 2 Extreme Realm holy skills, this is too exaggerated, and both are defensive holy skills, the superimposed effect is too terrifying, it is too difficult to break the defense of the ancestors of the 10,000 Law. Unless it is the death of the ancestor of the 10,000 Law domain, it is difficult to injure him. At this moment, Yi Tian also shot. Holy skill, Void Slash. With a wave of Yi Tian's hand, Shuzan broke through the thunder territory and slashed towards the Lei Ju territory ancestor. The ancestor of Lei Juyu turned into a lightning flash to dodge, and the virtual slash was a space holy skill, ignoring the distance, and instantly slammed into the body of the ancestor of Lei Juyu. Whoops! The only defensive holy skill that Lei Juyu's ancestor knew was torn apart, but he urged a defensive holy artifact on his body in time, which prevented Yi Tian's virtual slash, and his body was not torn apart by the virtual slash. But even so, the power of the holy skill hit him, and part of the power penetrated into the body, causing him to be slightly injured. It has to be said that Yi Tian's strength is stronger than him. I'm not my opponent 607, let's shoot together. Ancestor Lei Juyu sent a message to Ancestor Mengu and Ancestor Black Scales. The 3 and 4-star kings united, and perhaps there was hope to kill Yi Tian. It is good, Ancestor Menguyu and Ancestor Blackscale agreed. Although it was a competition, Yi Tian challenged the Ghost Fox organization alone, and the Ghost Fox organization could naturally besiege Yi Tian with many people. If Yi Tian is not willing, he can admit defeat and retreat. If you don't want to admit defeat, you have to accept this rule. Boom! Mengu Yuzu and Haishin Yuzu took action. I saw that Mengu Yuzu's body continued to grow bigger and turned into a stalwart giant, holding a sacred axe, like the mythical Pengu who opened up the world and slashed at Yi Tian. Boom! The endless void cracked, and a destructive axe light enveloped Yi Tian. The power of this blow is much stronger than that of Leijuyuzu's Leiyu. Mengayuzu is famous for his strength, but his speed is weak, so his strength is not strong. But now, the 3 4-star kings have united to besiege Yi Tian. The thunder domain of Lei Juyu can limit Yi Tian's speed, and the black scale domain ancestor has no limit, and immediately cast a soul holy skill, the 9-ring tower, slamming at Yi Tian. Under such circumstances, Yi Tian was absolutely unable to avoid Mengayuzu's blow. At this moment, Yi Tian used another holy skill, body control. As soon as the boosting holy skill was used, Yi Tian's strength skyrocketed. I saw that Yi Tian used his domineering holy technique with one hand, and smashed the axe light of Mengu Yuzu with one punch. Then, Yi Tian used the streamer holy technique to kill Mengu Yuzu at an incredible speed, and punched Mengu Yuzu once again. Bang! Unable to withstand Yi Tian's power, Mengayuzu was blasted out directly, the sacred objects on his body began to crack, the flesh continued to crack, blood scattered in the void, turning into lakes everywhere. After this blow, Mengayuzu was hit hard. 5 elements banned. Yi Tian used this holy technique to block the void, making it impossible for the 3 3-star kings to escape. At this time, the 3 ancestors of Mengu Yu, Haishin Yu and Lei Juyu were extremely solemn. They also did not expect Yi Tian's strength to be so powerful, the 3 together are not Yi Tian's opponents, and Yi Tian has almost no flaws, they can't help Yi Tian at all, and Yi Tian's attack is not something they can bear. How can there be such a terrifying saint, with so many sacred skills, and all of them have reached the limit? Ancestor Lei Juyu was shocked. If he had known this earlier, he would not have come out to fight with Yi Tian, and even if he had come out, at least he would have summoned more 4-star kings. Shen God. Yi Tian used this holy technique to attack the souls of the 3-star kings. Ah! Mengayuzu and others screamed in pain, their souls were injured. If they were all condensed with the holy light of the soul, it would not have been a minor injury, and CJFI had died from a broken soul. The 3-star kings kept dodging, evading Yi Tian's attack. However, under the stream of extreme holy skills, their speed is simply too ridiculous, there is no way to avoid Yi Tian. Puff puff. Under the attack of a holy skill, the 3-star kings were continuously injured, among which Mengayuzu was the most seriously injured. According to this, it won't be long before Mengayuzu will fall and die. Ligang Yuzu, save us. Ancestor Leiju asked for help. Ray Island branch. Lei Steel Yuzu also looked helpless, he could feel that the Lei Dao branch was locked by an invincible domain ancestor. Once he makes a move, the invincible domain ancestor will definitely make a move. Moreover, he also recognized who the invincible domain was, but the blood of the war gate was too much. Although the Blood Gang territory ancestor is not as good as the 10 emperors of the Ghost Fox organization, he is definitely one of the top 10 emperors. It is simply too easy for such an invincible territory ancestor to kill him. Although he is the invincible domain ancestor, he is actually not much stronger than the 4-star king. How could he save Leiju domain ancestors and the others? However, he wasn't too worried. Because, the other 4-star kings have also arrived. Whoa whoa whoa, in addition to the ban on the 5 elements, one after another silhouettes appeared. They were all 4-star kings of the Ghost Fox organization. One of the 4-star kings had a terrifying aura, much stronger than the average 4-star king. Ghost Fox organization, the ancestor of Yuanfengyu. He came. Wan Fa Yuzu, cancel the blockade, how about you and I fight one-on-one? Yuanfeng Yuzu said, when the battle here is over, I will fight with you again. Yi Tian replied, he didn't want to let Mengayuzu and the others go. His challenge to the Ghost Fox organization was fake, and revenge was real. Therefore, he must kill more 4-star kings to let the Ghost Fox organization know the consequences of attacking him. So today, Mengayuzu and the others are dead. Attack. Yuanfeng Yuzu said coldly. Immediately, the 4-star kings attacked the ban on the 5 elements from the ban on the 5 elements. Boom. The 5 elements ban was constantly cracked by Yuanfeng Yuzu and others' attacks. Perhaps after a few breaths, the 5 elements ban would be broken. Then I will no longer hide my strength. Yi Tian muttered. Originally, although he mobilized the Holy Light of Soul, he actually only mobilized 1/3 of the Holy Light of Soul, and he did not exert his full strength at all. Unexpected, Yi Tian used the holy technique of time, the holy technique of eternity on Mengayuzu. The time of Mengayuzu's location was frozen, and Yi Tian hit Mengayuzu with all his strength at this time. Click. Mengayuzu's body was completely shattered, and his soul was annihilated by the blow just now. So far, Mengayuzu has fallen and died. Chapter 1398 4-star kings fall one after another. Mengayuzu has fallen. Ancestor Leiju and Ancestor Black Scale were extremely frightened. Mengayuzu has fallen, can they still hold on? Now, they can only hope that the ancestors of Yuanfengyu and the others can break the ban on the 5 elements, and then with the strength of their many 4-star kings, they can defeat and even kill Yi Tian. Otherwise, they would have fallen and died today. At this moment, Yi Tian made a move against the Black Scale domain ancestor. I saw Yi Tian use the holy technique of escape to appear beside the Black Scale domain ancestor, and immediately use the powerful holy technique, which is a holy technique to break defenses, to penetrate the Black Scale domain ancestor with one blow. The power of the terrifying holy technique exploded in the body of the ancestor of the Black Scale domain, causing the ancestor of the Black Scale domain to be seriously injured in an instant. Then, Yi Tian strangled the Black Scale domain ancestor again and again with the holy slashing skill. In the blink of an eye, the ancestor of the Black Scale domain fell and died. All this is too fast, so that the ancestors of Lei Juyu can't react in time. He constantly turned into thunderlight and shuttled in this void, trying to avoid Yi Tian, but he couldn't. The 4-star kings such as Yuanfeng Yuzu and other 4-star kings outside were in a hurry, and they frantically attacked the ban on the 5 elements. At this time, the ban on the 5 elements has appeared numerous cracks and is about to shatter, but even if there is a delay, the ancestor of Lei Juyu may fall. Puff. With a single blow, Lei Juyu used a secret treasure, forcibly broke out the speed, avoided the key point, only cut off an arm, and the injury was not serious. Suddenly, Ancestor Lei Juyu screamed in pain. It turned out that Yi Tian's sacred skills had once again damaged his soul. It was at this time that the ban on the 5 elements was finally shattered by Yuanfeng Yuzu and the others. But Yi Tian didn't care, and directly bombarded the ancestor of Lei Juyu with all his strength. Ancestor of Wanfei, stop! Yuanfeng Yuzu said angrily. Many of their 4-star domain ancestors shot together and bombarded Yi Tian, trying to block Yi Tian with their attacks. If Yi Tian continued to attack, he would definitely be hit by the attacks of all of them, thus being injured and even severely injured. However, what made them unexpected was that Yi Tian still attacked the ancestor of Lei Juyu regardless of it. Puff! The ancestor of Lei Juyu was pierced by Yi Tian's space holy skill, and he was seriously injured and could no longer survive, and was directly killed. And the attack of Yuanfeng Yuzu and others also fell on Yi Tian's body. Boom! The place where Yi Tian was annihilated again and again, and Yi Tian tore the void and rushed out from the place of annihilation. At this time, Yi Tian's golden body and holy armor were shattered, and even the sacred golden armor on his body was cracked, and it would take a long time to repair it. Moreover, Yi Tian was indeed injured. Indestructible. The inextinguishable holy skills of the extreme realm were operating, and this injury quickly recovered. The inextinguishable holy skill of the extreme realm. Yuan Fengyu's pupils shrank. Originally, Yi Tian possessed 2 defense holy skills of the extreme realm, and it was already very difficult to kill. If coupled with the indestructible holy skills of the extreme realm, it would be even more difficult to kill. Just now, the all-powerful strikes of their 6 4-star kings failed to seriously damage Yi Tian. This is the best explanation. At this moment, the hearts of the 6 4-star kings were completely lost. He doesn't have a lot of holy light in his soul, so he definitely can't fight for a long time. Once his holy light in his soul is exhausted, it will not be difficult to kill him. Moreover, the ancestor of the mysterious ghost is also coming. Once he comes, we will kill him. The ancestor of the 10,000 laws is even more confident. Yuan Fengyu's ancestors preached. Yes, the other 5 4-star kings are full of confidence. Exclamation mark exclamation mark exclamation mark exclamation mark exclamation mark. The 6 4-star kings shot at Yi Tian, and each and every one of them was using holy techniques or top domain techniques of the extreme realm. One person is fighting against the 6 4-star kings, and there is also a Yuan Fengyu ancestor who is a top 4-star king, and Yi Tian's pressure is actually relatively high. Also, just as Yuan Fengyu's ancestor's message said, Yi Tian can't fight for a long time, otherwise, if the holy light of soul is exhausted, his combat effectiveness will be greatly reduced. Therefore, he must resolve the battle as soon as possible. Eternal holy skill. Yi Tian urged this holy technique to freeze the time instantly. The 6 big 4-star kings were locked down one after another, but Yi Tian didn't make a move against the ancestor of Yuan Fengyu. The ancestor of Yuan Fengyu was very powerful. Even if he was locked, the time would soon be broken, so even if he was shot, it would not hurt much, unable to re-inflict him. He needs to kill a few 4-star kings to reduce the pressure. The eternal holy skills are very helpful to the battle, but the consumption is also very large, and there is no way to use the eternal holy skills all the time, otherwise, he will always use the eternal holy skills and freeze the time forever. So what is it? Void/holy skill. For flowers, Yi Tian slashed at the weaker 4-star king with a single blow, and the blow pierced through and seriously injured him. Then, Yi Tian waved his hand, and countless golden threads were cut towards the 6 4-star kings. This is Yi Tian's golden thread holy skill. The attack power of the golden thread holy skill is weaker than that of the virtual slashing holy skill, but it can attack multiple people at the same time. Subsequently, Yi Tian used the streaming light holy technique to maximize his speed, and from time to time he also used the holy technique of escape, so that the 6 4-star kings couldn't hurt Yi Tian at all. Puff! Another virtual slashing technique slammed into the seriously injured 4-star king, injuring him again. Protect the Tiamu Yuzu, Yuan Fengyu ancestral way. However, who would dare to endure Yi Tian's void-slashing holy skill? Is it too late to dodge? Tiamu Yuzu, you hide in the branch and withdraw from the battle. Seeing this, Yuanfeng Yuzu proposed. It is good. Ironwood Yuzu tried to escape into the Thunder Island branch at the fastest speed. Once he entered the Leidao branch, no matter how strong Yi Tian was, he couldn't get in. However, Yi Tian didn't plan to let Timayu ancestors go, and used the holy technique of air escape to stop Timayu ancestors instantly. Immediately, Yi Tian pressed a hand towards Tiamu Yuzu. 5 elements banned. This holy technique can not only block the void, but also seal the enemy's cultivation. Boom! Yi Tian slammed his palm on the body of the Tiamu Yuzu, and the power of the five elements band turned into an incomparably mysterious band, sealing most of the power of the Tiamu ancestor. Receive. Yi Tian easily took the Tiamu Yuzu into the inner world and suppressed it. Let go of the Tiamu ancestors. Yuanfeng Yuzu said angrily. However, not long after Tiamu Yuzu entered Yi Tian's inner world, he was suppressed and died. At this moment, Yuanfeng Yuzu and others felt it. The ancestor of the Ironwood region has fallen and died. Ancestor Lei Gangyu, who was watching the battle, was full of anger. It was only a long time ago that the Ghost Fox organization had already lost 4 4-star kings, plus the 2 4-star kings who had fallen in Xuanshu Holy Realm before. The 6 4-star kings. After endless years, the Ghost Fox organization has accumulated such a number of 4-star kings, and now nearly half of them have fallen. We must kill Wanfa Yuzu at all costs. Ancestor of Thunder Steel region gritted his teeth. Chapter 1399 Use battle to break the shackles. The ancestor of Tiamu Yu fell, and the 5 4-star kings such as the ancestor of Yuanfeng Yu were also a little nervous, but no one quit, and they were still attacking Yi Tian frantically. They knew that they could not escape, not to mention whether they could escape. Even if they could escape, after the Ghost Fox organization knew about it, it would be difficult for them to escape the sanctions of the Ghost Fox organization. The power of the Ghost Fox organization is very great for them to cultivate. If they dare to escape, they will have to suffer unacceptable punishment. Therefore, they dare not escape. Holy Spear. The ancestor of Yuanfeng Yu mobilized a large amount of Soul Holy Light, and then used the Holy Skill Holy Spear to merge into the Holy Spear with the Soul Holy Light, and even his entire body was shrouded in the Soul Holy Light. At this moment, Yuanfeng Yuzu also fought hard. Otherwise, he will not wait for the arrival of the ancestors of the Shuangguiyu, and their group of 4-star kings will fall a few more. Even if he is strong and will not fall, if the other 4-star kings fall, it is difficult for him in the profound ghost territory to kill Yi Tian alone. Bang! 607. The ancestor of Yuanfeng Yu held the holy spear and struck Yi Tian with one blow. Originally, Yuanfeng Yuzu couldn't attack Yi Tian, but several other domain ancestors used secret techniques of bondage, coupled with the suppression of sacred objects, causing Yi Tian's speed to be seriously affected, and this was caused by Yuanfeng Yuzu, of the holy spear hit. I saw Yi Tian flew out backwards, and the defense was pierced, but with the recovery of the indestructible holy skill, the injury was nothing. Such a rich soul holy light. Yi Tian was quite surprised. If he also has as much soul holy light as Yuanfeng Yuzu, his strength is far stronger than now, and he can easily kill a 4-star king in seconds. Even a 4-star king like Yuanfeng Yuzu can't bear his several attacks. As time passed, the 5 4-star kings gradually suffered injuries, and 2 of them were seriously injured. But this time, under the desperate efforts of Yuanfeng Yuzu, Yi Tian's eternal holy skills are also difficult to fix in an instant, so it is difficult to find an opportunity to seriously injure or even kill a 4-star king. Moreover, the battle time has been long, and Yi Tian's consumption is very large. Now, he has consumed 30% of his domain strength and soul holy light. If he continues like this, his combat power will be affected. Unexpected. Yi Tian disappeared. Even the ancestors of Yuanfeng Yu could hardly find the traces of Yi Tian. The ancestors of the 10,000 La domain have escaped into the depths of the void. Yuanfeng Yuzu reminded. Deep in the void, Yi Tian hides here with the holy technique of space escape. After the holy technique of space escape reaches the limit, it can be hidden in the depths of the darkness of the sanctuary. There is a place close to the turbulent flow of time and space in the sanctuary of darkness, that level. Even Yuanfeng Yuzu, his full-strength attack could barely reach the depths of the void. Even if he found Yi Tian's position, if Yi Tian didn't come out, he couldn't shake Yi Tian out with one blow. At this moment, the ancestor of Yuanfeng Yu took out a sacred object similar to eyeballs. This is a sacred object, Wantong. Wantong, a sacred artifact, is mainly used to assist insight into formations and any concealment techniques. It is a treasure that he often uses to assassinate enemies. Boom, Wantong urged, and strands of light penetrated into the depths of the void. Soon, Yuanfeng Yuzu found Yi Tian's location. He originally thought that Yi Tian escaped into the depths of the void to sneak attack on them. However, Yi Tian stayed there the whole time and had no intention of attacking at all. No, he is recovering his strength. The ancestors of Yuanfeng Yu were enlightened. That's right, Yi Tian is indeed recovering his strength. Having consumed so much domain power and soul holy light, Yi Tian naturally needs to recover urgently. But he wouldn't run away to recover his strength, so he could only choose to escape into the depths of the void and take the holy medicine specially used to recover his strength. Now, in the depths of the void, Yi Tian accelerated the time, and after refining each of the holy medicines, his own strength recovered quickly, and even the holy light of the soul gradually returned to its heyday. Soon after, Yi Tian's state was full. Caution 1. Yuanfeng Yuzu sensed through Wantong that Yi Tian had come out from the depths of the void, and pointed directly at one of the 4-star kings. Yi Tian, who had recovered from his state, fought very hard, and he possessed the inextinguishable holy skill of the extreme realm, so he did not worry about his own safety. Under such an offensive, the 5 4-star kings retreated steadily. In the end, another 4-star king failed to save his life and was killed by Yi Tian. What everyone doesn't know is that, far away, an invincible domain ancestor is still watching the battle. This person is not the ancestor of Lei Ganyu, but one of the 10 emperors of the Ghost Fox organization, the ancestor of the Kei Zanyu, and next to the ancestor of the Kei Zanyu, stood a strong ancestor, the ancestor of Qingyang. The ancestor of the Kei Zanyu mobilized a sacred object and projected the picture of Yi Tian's battle over, and the ancestor of the Qingyang domain naturally saw the picture of the battle. Lord Bird Zan Yuzu, Yuanfeng Yuzu and the others can't kill the Wanfa Yuzu. I also watched Wanfa Yuzu's battle. His strength is indeed very strong, but he is not my opponent. Killing him with my strength will not be a problem. Besides, I have the projection sword of our Ghost Fox organization's strongest sacred item, the Taichan sword, and its power is also very terrifying. The morning sword is enough to inflict heavy damage on the ancestors of Wanvayu in an instant, and then harvest his life with the holy skill of karma, enough to kill his body from the air. The ancestors of Qingyang Yu said with confidence. Hold on, the ancestor of the Bird War domain murmured. He is waiting for the arrival of the Profound Ghost Territory Patriarch. Once the Profound Ghost Territory Patriarch and Yuanfeng Territory Patriarch unite, there may be a way to kill the Wanfa Territory Patriarch. It's not that he doesn't want to let Qingyang Yuzu take action, but if Qingyang Yuzu takes action, the price to pay is relatively high. The ancestor of Qingyang Yu pouted, knowing that Kei Zanyu wanted Gaihu to pay the price, but he was not in a hurry. Anyway, he didn't think that those few scraps could solve Yi Tian. In fact, he also hoped that those few scraps would stick to it more so that he could better understand Yi Tian's strength. Far away, the fight continues. Yuanfeng Yuzu and others retreated steadily, and their injuries were not serious. It was at this time that the ancestor of the Profound Ghost Territory arrived. Shuangui, you are late. Yuanfeng Yuzu said coldly. No way, you give a temporary notice, it would be nice if I could come here in time. Shuangui Yuzu sneered. Together, kill him, Yuanfeng Yuzu hurriedly said. It is good, the ancestor of the mysterious ghost domain nodded. With the addition of Profound Ghost Domain Ancestor, Yi Tian suddenly had some pressure. The two sides continued to fight, Yi Tian's defense was broken again and again, and gradually became injured, and his strength was severely depleted. However, once the combat power drops, he escapes into the void to regain his strength. And Shuangui Yuzu and the others will also take the opportunity to recover from their injuries, and the two sides are deadlocked like this. However, on 5.8, what the Shuangui Yuzu and the others did not notice was that Yi Tian became more and more excited to fight, and his will to fight became stronger and stronger. What they didn't know was that Yi Tian was using this battle to temper his holy body. His holy body is the eternal and indestructible holy body, and he has already reached the great perfection realm in the perfection realm. He is only one step away from entering the limit realm, but this step is very difficult. Even if he spends countless resources and countless years, there is no way to break this shackle. Therefore, he hopes to break the shackles by fighting. Although he is now replicating the replica body, like the original body, can also cultivate and break the shackles. Once the cloned body breaks the shackles and has the experience of breakthrough, the body breaks the shackles and cultivates the eternal and immortal holy body to the extreme state, which will naturally be many times easier. Pressure, I need enough pressure. At this moment, Yi Tian even hopes that the Ghost Fox organization will have a more powerful 4-star king. Chapter 1400. Has he condensed the holy soul? Damn, I can't kill him at all. The Profound Ghost Domain Ancestor said helplessly. It was also the first time that he had encountered such a difficult opponent as Yi Tian. If he were replaced by other supreme power ancestors, even if he had the same strength as Yi Tian, he would be besieged to death by these 4-star kings, or be consumed to death. But Yi Tian was able to escape into the depths of the void, and could easily restore all his strength. Furthermore, he possessed an inextinguishable holy skill, and the speed of his recovery was too fast, even their whole cards could not inflict heavy damage on Yi Tian in an instant. Therefore, they can't help Yi Tian. If it continues like this, Yi Tian is not dead, but they will be seriously injured and fall one by one. How to do? The profound ghost domain ancestor asked. Yuanfeng Yuzu is also helpless. In this case, he has nothing to do. Unless they have the top holy relic that can kill the invincible ancestors with one blow, they can only hope to kill Yi Tian with one blow. But they don't have such top-notch relics. Send the message to Lord Kuzanyuzu. He asked us to take action. We can't kill Wanvyazu, if he doesn't care. Once we are targeted by Wanvyazu, we can't fight him, unless stay in the branch forever and never come out. Yuanfeng Yuzu said. That's the only way to do it. The ancestors of the mysterious ghost domain responded one by one. Far away, Kei Zanyuzu received a communication from Yuanfeng Yuzu and Shuangui Yuzu. A few rubbish. The ancestor of the bird war domain cursed to himself. However, he had expected all this, but he was a little unwilling. Now, Yuanfeng Yuzu and the others have called for help, and it is clear that there is really no way out. If Yuanfeng Yuzu and the others continued to fight with Yi Tian, they would probably lose a few more 4-star kings. The 4-star king is not Chinese cabbage, but the foundation of the future of the Ghost Fox organization. Although the final decision was made by the leader, there are many 4-star kings who have fallen, and he will also suffer severe punishment. Therefore, the 4-star king cannot continue to fall. Qingyang Yuzu, it's your turn to take action. Once you successfully kill Wanfa Yuzu, all the benefits you ask for will be given to you. Remember, you must use all your strength to kill Fa Yuzu, don't hide anything. I know that you have been hiding your strength, and I don't know to what extent, but I hope you don't be careless, understand? Sparrow War Territory Ancestor reminded. Master Kei Zanyuzu, don't worry, there is only one Wanvyazu, it's not difficult for me to kill him. 1. Qingyang Yuzu said with a smile. However, what Qingyang Yuzu didn't know was that Yi Tian's eternal and immortal holy body had reached the most critical moment. If the shackles between the perfection of the eternal and indestructible holy body and the ultimate realm are compared to a barrier, then this barrier is now full of cracks, which can all be broken at any time. Even if Yi Tian is willing, he can now forcefully hit the limit state of the eternal and indestructible holy body. However, Yi Tian did not do this. He thought to himself that the Ghost Fox organization might still have a whole card or the hidden 4-star king didn't make a move. As the first holy body of the Dark Sanctuary, the eternal and immortal holy body is extremely powerful. Once it reaches the limit state, its power will skyrocket many times. The eternal Eucharist at that time was the real eternal Eucharist. Unexpected, the ancestors of Yuanfengyu and Shuangguiyu retreated one after another, and a figure in the distance came quickly and came to Yi Tian in a blink of an eye, stopping Yi Tian and preventing Yi Tian from chasing the other 4-star kings. Yi Tian did not continue to pursue, but stared at the ancestors of Qingyang. Judging from the investigation of the copying talent, Yi Tian knew the name and general origin of the ancestors of Qingyang. The 4-star king of the Ghost Fox organization seems to be a hidden 4-star king. Yi Tian secretly said, Qingyang Yuzu is not a saint, but his strength is probably not simple. He made Yi Tian have pressure. Obviously, the ancestors of Qingyang are very powerful. Qingyang domain ancestor, is he? He hasn't broken through to the invincible domain ancestor realm. The 4-star kings such as Shuangui Yuzu and other 4-star kings recognize the identity of Qingyang Yuzu. The outside world does not know about the ancestors of Qingyang region, but they know that the Ghost Fox organization has such a 4-star king, and it is an extremely ancient 4-star king. When they joined the Ghost Fox organization, the ancestors of Qingyang region were already 4-star king. Moreover, there has been no news from the ancestors of the Qingyang domain for a long time. They even thought that the ancestors of the Qingyang domain had already hit the invincible domain ancestor realm. Qingyang Yuzu, let's besiege Wanfa Yuzu together. Proposed by Shuangui Yuzu. A bunch of trash, get out of the way, don't get in my way. Qingyang Yuzu said very rudely. Quote. The ancestors of the mysterious ghost domain were extremely annoyed. Everyone is a 4-star king, and the ancestors of the mysterious ghost region call them waste, which is simply too hateful. Just when Shuangui Yuzu and others were about to refute, the voice of Keizan Yuzu came. All retreat, let Qingyang Yuzu deal with Fa Yuzu alone. Yes, Shuangui Yuzu and the others retreated honestly, but they did not dare to resist the orders of Keizan Yuzu, otherwise they would be courting death. In fact, it was the best way for them to assist Qingyang Domain Ancestor to deal with Yi Tian, but Qingyang Domain Ancestor was too arrogant, and believed that those 4-star kings were waste, and maybe they would interfere with his attacks during battle. Therefore, he decided to fight Wan Wan or Zhu alone. Ghost Fox Organization, Ancestor of Qingyang Region, please enlighten me. The ancestors of Qingyang Yu reported their identity. Zanmen, the ancestor of Wanvaiu, please enlighten me. Yi Tian also said simply. As soon as the voice fell, the battle began. Qingyang Yuzu held the Qingyang sword and attacked Yi Tian. The Qingyang sword is not a holy item 607, but a holy item is integrated into the weapon to create a weapon that can enhance combat effectiveness. This weapon is called a holy soldier. In fact, the holy soldiers can't exert all the power of holy objects, but some holy objects are really unsuitable for battle. For example, Qingyang Yuzu is good at swordsmanship. If there is no sword-like holy object, he can only choose this way. This is also a weapon commonly used by the ancestors of the invincible domain. It is transformed into a holy soldier with a holy object, and the effect is not bad. Holy skill, Sword Star. Qingyang Yuzu stabbed with a sword. With a tear, the void pierced through, as if ignoring the time and space, and hit Yi Tian's body directly. Puff puff. Yi Tian's golden body holy skills and holy armor holy skills were unable to stop this sword, all of them were broken, and even some damaged Jinshin armor was pierced, leaving a sword hole on his body. This time, Yi Tian was injured, and the injury was not minor. If Yi Tian hadn't used the inextinguishable holy skill to quickly heal the injury in time, he would have been seriously injured. So strong, Yi Tian said solemnly. Compared with the ancestors of the mysterious ghost domain, the strength of the ancestors of the Qingyang domain has completely risen to another level. Moreover, he could not perceive the strength of the Qingyang domain ancestor soul holy light, as if he had returned to the original. The soul holy light and his own strength were completely integrated so that he could be silent. Could it be that he has already condensed the holy soul? Yi Tian guesses.